Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of organizing committee, allow me to extend the warmest welcome to all of you to the 6th Knowledge Transfer Forum under the theme Human-Centeric ELT, Empowering Teachers Through Collaborative Innovation in Deep Learning Approach. It is a great honor to have you with us, dedicated educators from Muhammadiyah schools across the nations, from elementary to vocational high schools.
Let us begin this forum with gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and open our event with the recitation of the Holy Quran, followed by the national anthem Indonesia Raya and the Muhammadiyah anthem Marsang Surya. We are now honored to welcome the reciter of the Quran. Please join us in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Faiza Aulia Rahman SPD, who will lead us in the recitation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. ولا تمش في الأرض مرحا إنك لن تخرق الأرض ولن تبلغ الجبال طولا كل ذلك كان سيئه عند ربك مكروها. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Huwallahul khaliqul bari'ul musawwir lahul asma'ul husna. Yusabbihu lahu ma fis samawati wal ard wa huwal azizul hakim. Sadaqallahul azim. Allahumma arhamna bil Qur'an. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Faiza Aulia Rahman SPD, for the beautiful and moving recitation. We are truly grateful for the spiritual atmosphere you have created for us today. May your recitation bring blessings and peace to us all.
And now, please rise for the national anthem, Indonesia Raya and Mars Sang Surya, will lead by Miss Siti Muyasaroh SPDI.
Indonesia tanah airku, tanah tumpah darahku.
Gentlemen, you may return to your seats.
My name is Nur Indah and
My name is Muhammad Yusuf Ramdhani and
I, Rinda Sadono.
it is our honor to serve you as your Master of Ceremony today. Before we proceed, we would like to acknowledge and honor the presence of our distinguished guest, Professor Dr. Harun Joko Prayitno, Rector of Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta,
Profesor Dr. Anda Haja Utami Widiati MA PhD, President of Teflin Indonesia.
Dr. Didik Suhadi PhD, Chairman of Council for Primary, Secondary and Non-Formal Education, Muhammadiyah Central Board.
Ali Sauka MA, Teflin Members of Advisory Board,
Insinyur Ananta Kusuma Seta PhD, Expert Staff Council for Primary, Secondary and Non-Formal Education, Muhammadiyah Central Board.
All esteemed keynote speakers from the Education University of Hong Kong and Universitas 11 Maret.
Respected English teacher from Muhammadiyah schools nationwide.
ladies and gentlemen, participants both offline and online.
Now, let us hear the welcoming remarks from Professor Dr. Harun Joko Prayitno, Rector of Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa mawala. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ta'ala la syarikalah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma shalli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad amma ba'd. Selamat pagi Bapak dan Ibu. Good morning everybody. I am very happy to meet you today. Welcome to our campus, Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta, located in Surakarta. Surakarta have 4 different names, Surakarta, Surakarta, Solo, and Solo, but the same place. For name differences, but the same place is Surakarta. Surakarta as a formal name, Surakarta as a old administrative name, Solo the popular name for the young generation, and the Solo popular name is old generation, maybe 100 years ago ya, 100 years ago. Bapak Ibu, Kepala Sekolah selamat datang. Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta, one of the biggest university of Muhammadiyah. Why as the biggest university? Because Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta have more 25 departments, 90% as predicate excellent rank. Excellent rank. We have more 44,000 students come the other places. We have several students from Aceh until Sabang Merauke. So Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta call it the biggest university. Thank you so much. As a President Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta, once more again, welcome to Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta. Today, Mrs. Professor Utami is my colleague here from Malang, isn't it? Yeah, and so Pak Didi, this morning I call him. Today, he Burate, please. Pak Didi tidak bisa datang hari ini because he is have meeting the with Minister of Education, ya. So I am very happy today. Selamat datang Ibu Nur Arifah from Maret, kemudian to Professor Timothy Taylor and Lai Lee Wincy, from Hong Kong. 6 months ago, I and team visit to Hong Kong, the small city, visit to Hong Kong. Maybe next time, several headmaster, please invite to your country to Hong Kong, ya. Exchange experiences, ya. I hope today not only the first time and the last time meeting, but he came to cooperate, join. For example, not only you are invited as a guest speaker, but I think it's better today start to join research, publication research, not only join research, publication research, maybe we can collaboration the other innovation for education. Sekali lagi, selamat datang di Universitas Muhammadiyah Jakarta. Bapak Ibu Kepala Sekolah silahkan dinikmati suguhan dan rajikan pada hari ini. Several time I tell to the Minister of Education Indonesia, Professor Mukti have a new paradigm as call it deep learning. So as a president, I think deep learning became to legacy. So several university I combine to join new journal. What is the journal? Journal says Journal of Deep Learning. Yeah, please support. And if you have any idea, please write to paper and then send to the Journal of Deep Learning. I think Journal of Deep Learning is the one satu-satunya jurnal apa, Bu? The only journal in the world. Yeah, Journal of Deep Learning, the one of journal in the world. So I hope Journal of Deep Learning maybe next 3 years indexed by Scopus. Ya, indexed by Scopus, ya. Sekali lagi terima kasih pada Bapak Ibu sekalian. Silahkan nanti Bapak Ibu menulis di jurnal kami, Journal of Deep Learning. Sudah kami komunikasi dengan Pak Menteri, covernya sudah oke, saya beli 1 juta, logonya, webnya sudah jalan, supaya ke depan Deep Learning ini menjadi legasi kementerian, menterinya bisa berganti, tetapi kebijakan ini menjadi peletak dasar bahwa Deep Learning itu menjadi pilar penting di dalam rangka mengantarkan anak-anak ini menjadi sosok-sosok yang sangat bagus. Let us to open this International Knowledge Transfer Forum. Let us to open by basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Semoga Allah Ta'ala meridhoi pertemuan pada hari ini, amin. Terima kasih. Nasru minal wadkun qarib, Bapak Siril Muminin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Professor Harun, for the warm opening speech.
Next, we will hear from Professor Dr. Ana Hajah Utami Widiati MA PhD, President of Teflon Indonesia, who will also present the Teacher Award, represented by Dr. Nur Arifah Drajati.
Ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, the Honorable Professor Harun Joko Praitno, Bapak Didik Suhardi PhD, Insinyur Ananto Kusuma Seta MSc PhD, and also for all the participants that attend today. So I'm as the representative of Teflon. I'm as the Teacher Professional Development Coordinator. So over the past 10 years, Professor Zhu Xiangli from the Education University of Hong Kong has established a close collaboration with TAFLIN and Universitas 11 Maret. This is an international effort to enhance the professionalism of English teachers in Indonesia through various strategic initiatives, such as knowledge transfer forums and high-impact social projects like the IDLE Social Impact Project. This partnership has paved the way for academic exchange, professional development, and joint research that strengthen the English education community across Asia. Launched in August 2024, the IDLE project initially engaged 100 teachers. Only 27 remained by the end of the first season. 8 outstanding teachers and 1,200 students continued this meaningful journey. Their perseverance and passion reflect a remarkable commitment to sustainable change in education. So today, we also, TAFLIN as associations, we would like to thank you for these great collaborations with Education University of Hong Kong and also with the TAFLIN. And today we would like to invite the teachers that joined with the 1-year professional development. For the teachers, would you please to come forward? And maybe Dr. Ju Seong Lee, would you please to give the award? Yeah. Ibu Vera from SMA 1 Surakarta. Ibu Rizky from SMA 1 Surakarta. Ibu Dian, from SMA Diponegoro. Ibu Zahro Hanifa from SMA ABBS Surakarta. Ibu Wening from SMK 2 Surakarta. Ibu Win from SMA Negeri 2 Surakarta. And once more, Ibu Chris, Ibu Christy from SMK 6 Surakarta. And me myself. So I'm as the part of this program as the coordinator, and also I'm trying to teach. Agak sebelah di tengah. So hopefully Bapak Didi Suhardi and also Bapak Ananto, we would like to continue the social impact with Muhammadiyah teachers all around Indonesia. Okay, once again, thank you very much for all of the teachers that are so patient in learning together with us. And really hope that all of the educators of Muhammadiyah will join us next social impact. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Nur Arifah Drajati, for the inspiring message.
Yang sama-sama kita hormati, Honorable Pak Rektor, Pak Prof. Harun Joko, Pak Rektor, atas nama Majelis Didaksmen PP Muhammadiyah, kami mengucapkan terima kasih nih, telah direpoti menjadi tuan rumah acara yang luar biasa ini. Gitu. Sekali lagi kami mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta. Our colleague from Education University of Hong Kong, Dr. Lee, Dr. Tim, and also our colleague Wan Yi Winnie. Welcome to Surakarta. I think how many times you visited Surakarta? Many times. 5 times. But this is the first time, I believe, you visit the Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta. I believe this is not the first time. This is just the beginning of your journey and make collaboration as Pak Rektor expected during his speech and the beginnings. Collaborations between Hong Kong, University of Muhammadiyah Surakarta and Universitas Negeri Surakarta, the triangle. Oh, Universitas 11 Maret, sorry. Yeah. The triangle and Surakarta. Yeah, it's a good. Don't worry, we have many school, many teachers that are ready to be enhanced in terms of not only in English but also other subject. Tevlin, Bu Nur, thank you very much. Also our colleague from the Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta, Pak Ali, also our colleague Pak Sutomo. He is the president of the Muhammadiyah Teachers Associations. Thank you, Pak Musudawa. Pak Lee, I would like to report to you that this event attended by 1,000 students, teachers across the nations who follow by Zoom, in addition to 100 or 125 which is in this room. So a lot of teachers want to join. Unfortunately, because the capacity is limited on 1,000, we stop until 1,000. Maybe next time we can explode to the 5,000 or 10,000. Moderators, komite, semua panitia, terima kasih yang luar biasa. Dalam waktu 1 minggu, kayak Bandung Bondowoso, ini sudah bisa terlaksana dengan luar biasa. Gitu. First, Pak Rektor, let me convey the apology from Pak Didik Suhardi, who regretfully could not attend this event because this morning he will meet with Pak Menteri for the in the office. On that note, please allow me to make a just short remark on behalf of him. Ladies and gentlemen, in the era of the education is rapidly evolving. English teachers play a crucial role in shaping communication skill, critical thinking, and global competencies. On that note, the three interconnected ideas that become the topic of this forum, empowerment, collaborations, and deep learning, is indeed timely. So thank you, Pak Lee, for bringing this topic. The empowerment is not simply about giving teachers more responsibilities. It's about giving them the tools, the voice, and the agency to lead learning. Empowerment starts when we move from survival mindset, conventional mindset, into transformative mindset, the growth mindset, where teachers feel very confident to innovate, to adapt, and lead the change. One of the most powerful ways to empower English teachers is through collaborative innovations. Today, the most meaningful innovations come from shared practices, cross-pollinations among the teachers, and also collective experiment. When teachers collaborate, they break the isolations of the classroom and create culture of continuous improvement. But the collaborations to lead to innovations, we need to structure it intentionally. That's where the deep learning approach can play a crucial role. The deep learning is an approach, it's not a curriculum, that enables all the emphasizing the creations of all learning atmosphere and learning process that lead the mindful, meaningful, and joyful through intellectual, ethics, aesthetics, and kinesthetic exercise in the holistic and integrated manner. It focuses on the 8 dimensions of learning outcome: faith and devotions of God Almighty, citizenship, collaborations, creativity, communications, critical thinking, self-awareness, and self-reliance, and also health and well-being. They are the very heart of what it means to learn deeply and meaningfully in the 21st century. And English teachers are uniquely positioning to nurture into deep learning. With the deep learning lens, English teachers become designers of experiences, not just deliverers of content. The English teachers guide the student to connect language to life, text to context, and personal voice to public impact. Let us commit today to being lifelong learners, innovators, and collaborators, because when teachers grow, then the student rise. Let us commit to build quality education of all. This is the 5-year program under the Ministry Mukti. Again, thank you very much, Pak Rector, for being a host on this event, and also Pak Tim, Dr. Lee, and also the team from Education University of Hong Kong. This is hopefully not the first time and the last. This is just the beginning to visit the Muhammadiyah University of Surakarta. And like Pak Rector mentioned, this is one of the biggest Muhammadiyah University in Indonesia, and ready become a hub for all other universities and also the School of Muhammadiyah. Semoga acara ini mendapat berkah dari Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Dan demikian, sekali lagi mohon maaf kalau ada khilaf. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Insinyur Ananto Pusumaseta, PhD, for the meaningful remarks and officially opening our forum. Before we start the first session, we invite all the keynote speakers and also the guests to take picture together. Please.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now begin session first of the forum. This session will be moderated by Ms. Rizka Dian Permatasari, Sarjana Pendidikan. Our keynote speaker for this session, the first is Dr. Ju Xiong Lee from the Education University of Hong Kong, and second, Dr. Nur Arifah Derajati from Universitas 11 Maret. And Ms. Rizka Dian Permatasari, Sarjana Pendidikan, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much for the warm welcome from our Master of Ceremony. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The distinguished speakers and also our beloved teachers, Bapak, Ibu, all the teachers from Solo, or perhaps from, I saw on the attendance list, from Palur, or perhaps who comes from the farthest place from Solo, anyone? Solo Raya, oh yeah. Okay, thanks for the information. All right, Bapak Ibu, it's a great honor for me, Rizka Dian Permatasari, to be your moderator today and guide you through this exciting international seminar under the theme Human-Centeric ELT, Empowering Educators Through Collaborative Innovation with Deep Learning Approach. It's a very important topic for us as educators, as teachers, to want to grow and also to adapt the new approach in our teaching and learning process. And perhaps, Bapak Ibu, we are familiar with the term of deep learning, right? And recently, perhaps some of us also joined workshop or similar event discussing about deep learning. And we know that deep learning is not a curriculum, as it was said before. It's an approach that focusing on providing meaningful and also various activities to students. So the learning process will become mindful and then meaningful and joyful. Okay, and I believe that today is gonna be our great opportunity to dive deeper into the topic, and we can explore how this topic can improve our teaching and benefit our students. We'll have inspiring speakers, engaging discussions, and hopefully fresh ideas that we can take back to our classroom later after we finish this event. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for the international seminar session. And please find your seat, get comfy, and let's give our full attention to our distinguished speaker today. You may take notes if it's necessary, and also prepare your questions. And before we begin, let me explain how our today's seminar will run. And we have a total of 4 amazing speakers, but our seminar today will be divided into 2 sessions. The first session will listen from 2 speakers and then followed by a Q&A session. And after that, we'll take around 15 minutes for the coffee break for you to relax and to refresh for a while. And then we'll continue with the second session, which will be led by Mr. Wakas Ahmad from 11 Maret University, and also followed by another Q&A session. And here for our first session, we have Mr. Okay, for the first speaker, we'll be with Dr. Nur Arifah Derajati, MPD from 11 Maret University. Please give applause to
Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ya, mohon izin Bapak Ibu, saya Nur Arifah Drajati, you can call me Arifah. So, thank you very much for all of the participants today. So this is the beginning, yeah, hopefully. And we will continue with the next activities in the future and a lot of activities. Bapak Ibu, perkenalkan saya Arifah, saya mengajar sekarang ini di Universitas 11 Maret. Sebelumnya saya mengajar di SMA selama 17 tahun di Jakarta, dekat dengan Pak Ananto. Tetapi sebenarnya berkenal dengan Pak Ananto bukan 17 tahun yang lalu, tetapi baru tahun ini. Ya, jadi perjalanan waktu ya begitu ternyata kita dekat ya Pak Ananto. Jadi saya mengajar 17 tahun di SMA Lab School Jakarta. Sebelumnya mengajar di SD Al-Azhar Kelapa Gading dan SMP Al-Azhar Kelapa Gading selama 2 tahun. Kemudian saya juga selama mengajar di SMA, saya mengajar di TK Lab School selama 5 tahun. Jadi alhamdulillah mendapatkan kesempatan mengajar di berbagai level dari TK sampai alhamdulillah mengajar doktor sekarang ini. Jadi Bapak Ibu, saya juga pernah merasakan menjadi guru dan sampai sekarang pun saya juga masih tetap guru. Karena murid-muridnya ya ini salah satu mahasiswa saya. Ya, kemudian ini juga Mas Wakas ini juga mahasiswa saya. Kita sharing ya Bapak Ibu, karena dalam perjalanan kehidupan ini saya sebagai pengajar itu ternyata kita terus belajar. Nah inilah yang mungkin kita akan berbagi bersama. Kami dari peneliti juga terus belajar. Kita semua sudah mengetahui ya Bapak Ibu ya tentang generative AI. Have you ever tried using the ChatGPT or DeepSeek or Grok and etc.? Okay, yeah, that's great. So we will talk today about this. Okay, next. Yeah, so this is the topics that we would like to discuss. First is the current issues of deep learning approach and generative AI in education. Teachers change in teaching English. This is the choices. And the third one is how to change the way of teaching in the age of generative AI. Yeah. Okay, next. But before I talk about this, so let me introduce about TEFLIN. TEFLIN is the Association for the Teaching of English as a Foreign Language in Indonesia. Yeah, this is around 70 years. Ya, jadi Bapak Ibu kita punya asosiasi. Saya belum tahu kalau di Muhammadiyah apakah ada asosiasi guru bahasa Inggris? Ada ya, Bapak? Iya, ya. Already. so we introduce this. Hopefully that maybe you may join with the association. Okay, next. So we have 20 chapters all around Indonesia. Yeah, from Jawa Tengah to Papua, Borneo, Kalimantan, Sulawesi, Sumatra, and there are Java. So there are 3 chapters in Java, Jawa Tengah, Jawa Barat, and Jawa Timur. And starting this year, because of the government have such kind of a new approach, deep learning approach, so we move together with the government. We have such kind of practice and also learn together about deep learning approach. Yeah, so we will start this program on the next May, June, and July. So would you please, if you eager to join us, so we would like to thank you very much for your participation. It's free. It's free. So this is TEFLIN support for the government new regulation.
Okay, so we would like to start with the current issues in the nation curriculum and generative AI in English education. What happens today? Yeah, next. So we are in euphoria, yeah, but also in dysphoria. Yeah, so we are now happy, but at the same time, we have such kind of a confused how to start with. There are a lot of things that related to generative AI, and also there is another approach that we have to learn. Is it right? Yeah. Ini kita mau kemana gitu ya? Next. Then we would like to sing together. Mau kemana kita? Yeah. Mau kemana? Yeah. So we move forward. Yeah, we try to learn the new things. Bu, kenapa sih kurikulumnya berubah-ubah atau approach-nya sebenarnya tidak berubah ya Pak Didi ya? Ya, insya Allah tidak berubah, tetapi approach-nya yang berubah, ya pendekatannya. Ya, jadi Bapak Ibu mungkin apa yang dipelajari yang dulu-dulu bahkan dari sejak kuliah, ya tidak kita itu adalah masa pembelajaran. Kenapa kurikulum berubah? Ya memang harus berubah. Kenapa? Mengikuti zaman Bapak Ibu, mengikuti kebutuhan siswa-siswa kita. Kita waktu dulu kuliah, ya kita dipersiapkan untuk mengajar 10 tahun dari kita mengajar. Nah ketika kita sudah mengajar di sini berarti kita sudah harus mencoba untuk memperbaiki lagi, memperbaiki terus sehingga nanti bisa anak-anak bisa menghasilkan hasil yang lebih optimal. Oke, next. Ya, ini Bapak Ibu. Ini menurut saya menarik ya. Jadi dan ini pas sekali. So this is memuliakan ya. Memuliakan siapa? Memuliakan guru? Yes. Memuliakan murid? Yes. Memuliakan siapa lagi? Buku, jangan lupa Bapak Ibu. Ya, jadi ini hanya sekedar cerita, mungkin pengalaman saya sebagai pribadi ya Bapak Ibu ya. Ketika sebelum ini ada, memuliakan ini, saya itu mengikuti pengajian. Dan salah satunya itu Imam Syafi'i, itu salah satunya sangat dimuliakan ketika menjadi siswa mengikuti syekh-syekh sebelumnya. Jadi menggunakan baju yang rapih, yang paling bagus yang dikenakan. Kemudian bukunya juga dibawa dengan hati-hati. Nah, ini mungkin kita kembali lagi ke masa zaman dahulu, di mana kita ini saling memuliakan. Memuliakan siswa, memuliakan guru, memuliakan buku, memuliakan kalau dulu mungkin kitab ya. Nah, ini Bapak Ibu. Bagaimana ceritanya? Mungkin satu ya, saya sangat terkenang begitu ketika kita itu memuliakan, bagaimana memuliakan siswa. Jadi gurunya salah satu imam besar itu ceritanya belajar di bawah pohon yang rindang ceritanya. Nah suatu saat gurunya kan pasti ada di bawah pohonnya ya. Nah terus muridnya ada yang tidak dekat pohon, terkena matahari, panas. Nah gurunya si guru ini tiba-tiba malamnya datang. Dan dengan berjalan pelan-pelan datang ke rumahnya si guru yang mengajar di bawah pohon ini. Oh kenapa Anda datang guru? Begini, saya hanya ingin mengingatkan. Ketika kamu mengajar di bawah pohon rindang, ingat juga muridmu juga harus di pohon yang rindang. Tidak boleh terkena sinar matahari. Itu mengingatkan itu saja, datangnya malam-malam dengan tanpa suara. Masya Allah ya Bapak Ibu ya. Ya, jadi saya terkenang, oh begini ya memuliakan siswa. Jadi ini yang mungkin kita belajar lagi bagaimana memuliakan guru, memuliakan siswa, memuliakan semua yang terkait dengan education. Nah, di sini pembelajaran mendalam berkesadaran, mindful. Then the second one is meaningful and the third one is joyful. Tapi kalau dibilang ya, masa belajar menggembirakan ya? Kayaknya belajar nggak ada yang menggembirakan. Hari ini Bapak Ibu bergembira nggak? Oh, karena temanya deep learning approach ya Bapak Ibu. Ya, kita mulai dari diri kita dulu ya. We have to be happy as the teachers. Ya. Bapak Ibu ingin menjadi pendidik yang bahagia tidak? Ya. Ingin ya Bapak Ibu ya, semuanya ingin menjadi teachers with happiness. We start with ourselves. Ya. Bapak Ibu sebenarnya kalau guru itu harus belajar apa enggak? Wajib ya. Ya itu karena memilih menjadi guru itu karena siap untuk terus belajar. Ya, oke, next. Nah, ini Bapak Ibu memahami ya. Waktu kami di Teflin itu mempelajari ini Bapak Ibu, terus terang kami itu kan dosen-dosen gitu ya Bapak Ibu dari berbagai universitas. Itu mengalami kesulitan juga. Terus terang Bapak Ibu. Ya. Apa sih maksudnya memahami? Bukannya dulu itu juga memahami gitu ya. Ya. Tetapi mungkin berbeda ya karena harus menyertakan tadi mindful, joyful and meaningful. This is the three things that we have to think deeper. How to create this kind of atmosphere. I agree with Pak Ananto that we are the teacher as the designer of the lessons. Ya, Bapak Ibu desainer itu kaitannya dengan apa ya? Penjahit ya? Kayaknya yang jahit-jahit baju seperti itu ya? Ya, harus ngepasin sini, harus ngepasin pinggang, harus ngepasin panjang dan sebagainya. Ya, so we have to think as the designer. It is not enough if we are as the facilitator. Yeah, we are now moved to the designer. Yeah, I believe that these teachers in Muhammadiyah have already knows about this matter. Yeah. Okay, next. And the second one is apply and having such kind of reflection. Yeah, actually this is not new for all of us. Yeah, but we have to put the three new paradigm into this kind of action. It is not easy. Yeah, that's why as the designer, we have to think and consider many things. Yeah, okay, next. Okay, then talking about AI. Yeah, do you agree if we use AI for our students? Is there anyone disagree? Yeah. No problem. You have your own choice. Yeah. You agree and disagree. Yeah, but we still have such kind of arguments why we agree and disagree. But we cannot lag behind. Yeah. Though the teachers doesn't want to have AI in the classrooms and also outside of the classroom, but the students would like to do it. Tanpa diperintah mereka menggunakan ya Bapak Ibu ya. Ada yang SD Bapak Ibu? Ada yang guru SD? Iya. Sudah menggunakan AI? Oh, ada yang sudah, ada yang belum. Belum atau sudah Bapak? Sudah. Sudah akan ya. Sudah akan ya. Ya. Oke, lanjut. So this is the pros and cons. Ya. Kalau mahasiswa Bapak Ibu, ya kalau SD mungkin belum ya. Kalau mahasiswa tanpa diperintah, tanpa diinstruksikan, mereka otomatis. Ya, tapi we have to be ready with some of the what we call pros and cons, because there is another activities that we have to be more critical with what the AI result, and also we have to make sure this is not only just copy paste from the AI. Yeah, so now this is another challenge for the educators related to the use of AI. Ya, Bapak Ibu, apalagi ya saya mengajar writing, gitu ya. Agak lumayan gitu ya, karena kan mudah sekali itu, it's only just copy paste. Ya, tapi ya kita harus berpikir bagaimana caranya supaya siswa-siswa ini it is not only just copy paste from the AI. Ya, and it needs a lot of efforts. Ya, saya harus menguji satu persatu. Ya, karena this is actually writing, it is not only just the result of the writing, but also this is talking about logical thinking, critical thinking, yeah, and also creativity. Yeah, okay, next. Nah ini Bapak Ibu, generative AI, there are a lot of varieties of generative AI, multimodal generative AI, open source wave in generative AI, yeah, strong regulatory guidelines, bring your own AI. So there are many kinds of varieties of generative AI. Kita bisa ngejar nggak Bapak Ibu? Ini kita sudah belajar, ini sudah hari ini ada yang baru lagi. Jadi we have to learn faster about this, but we have to think critically how to make use of that generative AI. Nah ini yang akan kita bawa ke kelas-kelas kita. Ini Bapak Ibu. Okay, next. Top generative AI trends. AI for creativity. Ya, sudah ada Bapak Ibu yang menggunakan? Menggunakan apa Bapak Ibu? Contohnya? Apa? Theta AI. Meta AI. Meta AI. Oh ya. ChatGPT. Ya. Creativity. Bapak Ibu udah pernah mencoba Canva? Ya, that's for creativity. Ya, itu sudah mulai ya Bapak Ibu ya. Generative AI for hyper personalization, conversational AI. Nah ini yang dilakukan oleh oleh ibu-ibu deh, nggak ada bapaknya mas. Ibu-ibu guru yang tadi mendapatkan Teacher Award. Ya, conversational AI. Nah ini macam-macamnya Bapak Ibu, nanti kita coba pelajari pelan-pelan. Saya juga sedang belajar juga. Next. Nah, bagaimana di kampus Bapak Ibu? In campus there are pros and cons. Yeah. There are many lecturers still argue that we cannot use AI for university students. But some and many lecturers would like to give freedom for the students. So this is willy-nilly. Dan mungkin untuk mencegah ethics ya Bapak Ibu, ada satu mahasiswa saya, Mas Niko. Ya, Mas Niko ini tesisnya terkait dengan ethics how to use AI. Ya, kita sedang mencoba untuk membuat game, ya, how to make use of AI, but based on the ethics. Ya, jadi ada etikanya. Tidak hanya copy paste, tapi seperti itu yang harus kita pelajari juga. Yeah. Okay, so this is another varieties of AI. Bapak Ibu, every AI can do many things, and sometimes we make us so surprised with this kind of AI. Yeah. Tapi apakah sampai di situ saja? We have to think how the students can do many creativity using the AI. Ya, pasti kalau di Muhammadiyah kan tidak ini ya, saya juga merasakan sebagai sekolah privat. Muhammadiyah privat semua ya Pak? Privat semua ya. Ya, itu kan kita berkejaran ya, Bapak Ibu ya. Ya, karena saya juga sebagai guru sekolah swasta. Itu kita harus belajar gitu. Untuk apa? Untuk supaya tidak ketinggalan. Untuk kita mempunyai inovasi ya untuk siswa-siswa kita. Ya, next. Sampai kalau ingin buat lagu sudah bisa ya Bapak Ibu ya. Ya, buat lagu, buat apa lagi? Film, short movies. Ya, itu juga sudah bisa. Okay, so if we would like to learn about AI, so this is a website that we can learn about AI. Yeah, there are a lot of informations, and maybe we can make use of this kind of knowledge to improve the strategy in learning and also teaching. Yeah. Okay, next. How to change the way of teaching in the age of generative AI? Yeah, I'm learning too, Bapak Ibu. So for the students with they are good in capacity in using the AI. Ya bahkan mungkin mereka memang kalau yang anak-anak muda ya atau guru muda gitu ya, itu cepat sekali itu. Ya. Tetapi apa? Kalau dilihat dari sisi TPEC, technological, pedagogical, and content knowledge, one of the reasons why we have to learn is we lack of the pedagogy. How to teach technology and content and technology and pedagogy together, all together. Nah ini yang biasanya kita miss di pedagogy. Nah kemarin ini waktu kita menyusun materi Teflin, itu salah satunya we need to learn again about micro learning and macro learning skills. So this is for teaching English, it is not only just content, but also the skills. Yeah, sometimes we forget about this matter. Nah, kita buka-buka lagi ya nanti Bapak Ibu buku-buku lama kita waktu kuliah ya. Jangan ditinggalkan. Tapi kita baca lagi, kita coba update dengan apa yang sudah kita oke, thank you Ibu Dian. Ya, kita lakukan. Next. Wah, waktunya tinggal 5 menit ya Bapak Ibu. Ya. Ini usually using AI, there's inaccuracy, cheating, plagiarism, bias, and data privacy. So we have to be careful about this matter. Bapak Ibu, mungkin ya salah satunya ya kalau berdasarkan pengalaman saya. So this is talking about paraphrasing. Paraphrasing biasanya menggunakan mahasiswa pakai apa Mas? Quillbot ya? Quillbot ya? Oke. Then what happens? Kalau sudah bisa paraphrasing semua, kemudian apa yang terjadi? We have to check whether the paraphrase is accurate or not. Nah, karena saya mengajar dari sisi linguistik, we have to know about the theme and rhymes. Akhirnya Bapak Ibu, apa yang terjadi? Mahasiswa sekarang sudah agak ragu-ragu pakai AI. Tapi nanti AI-nya nanti akan ngikutin. AI-nya tapi nanti akan ngikutin pasti suatu saat. Ya. Tapi at least the students understand how to paraphrase in good sentence. Nah, ini konsep-konsep ini yang perlu kita ajarkan. That's deep learning. Ya. Apakah joyful? Ya, joyful karena mereka jadi sadar, oh ternyata kalau pakai AI tidak semuanya juga benar, inaccurate. Nah ini yang kita harus cari cara bagaimana menyampaikan hal-hal seperti ini kepada siswa kita. Okay, next. This is the opportunities. Ya, jadi sebenarnya banyak sekali ya Bapak Ibu ya kita bisa memanfaatkan AI, but at the same time we have to think. Ya, kalau enggak kita enggak akan jadi guru lagi. Ya, we have to be changed by the AI. nanti diganti robot-robot. Ya. Bahkan robotnya juga seperti muka kita, tapi robot. Iya. Jadi begitu Bapak Ibu. Jadi ini yang terjadi bahwa kalau kita tidak belajar, nanti kita akan digantikan oleh AI dan itu. Apakah oke, Bapak Ibu? Ya tentu saja tidak oke ya. Bagaimanapun this is a humanizing ya tadi ya, humanizing tadi. Ya, bagaimana kita bisa dengan teknologi yang luar biasa ini tetap ada hal-hal yang tidak bisa dipelajari menggunakan AI. Oke, next. Oke, nah ini first C skills tadi ya disampaikan. So critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. So we have to think about this matter. Yeah, how to be creative, how to create this kind of creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication. Ini kan sudah lama sekali ya Bapak Ibu ya. Ya, sudah di luar kepala kita. Saking di luar kepalanya sampai kadang-kadang kita lupa. Yeah. But we have to think about this in designing the lessons. Yeah. Okay. Next. So I propose digital storytelling. Yeah. This is, I think this is a very interesting for the students. And using the AI tools, we can create this kind of digital storytelling. Ketika 5 tahun yang lalu saya menggunakan digital, waktu saya tesis. Waktu saya tesis itu, saya menggunakan PowerPoint. Jadi siswa itu nulis, kemudian difoto, kemudian masuk ke PowerPoint. Sampai sekarang masih. Nanti kapan-kapan nanti saya share ya Bapak Ibu ya. So this is this digital story. Tapi sekarang menggunakan AI sudah bisa. Bahkan sekitar 5 tahun yang lalu. Berarti kan kalau saya tesis berarti sekitar 15 tahun yang lalu ya Bapak Ibu ya. Itu saya menggunakan sudah pakai digital storytelling tetapi gambar sendiri. Sekarang udah menggunakan AI. Wah, itu luar biasa. Ya. Oke. So next. So this is some nah ini Bloom taxonomy. AI sudah sampai ke creating. Nah, bagaimana kita? Ya, jangan-jangan kita kalah dengan AI ini. Gak mungkin ya Bapak Ibu ya. Gak mungkin, insya Allah gak mungkin. Kenapa? Karena kita diciptakan Allah dengan yang sebaik-baiknya makhluk. Ya, kita nggak, insya Allah tidak mungkin ya dibandingkan dengan AI. But we have to learn and learn again. Nah, okay, next. Tapi apakah remembering itu salah? No, ya. Jadi kita nggak bisa langsung loncat juga. Remembering itu bagus, Bapak Ibu. Ya, seperti tadi mungkin kalau yang Al-Quran, dia membaca Al-Quran, itu kan hafiz itu tetap ditempatkan yang paling tinggi. Ya, okay, next. So this is the use of digital storytelling. Next. So this is the result. Nah ini zaman dahulu kala. Ini saya membuat ini Bapak Ibu. Ya, itu mahal. Jadi satu buku itu we have to spend around more than 5 million rupiah. Ya, mahal kan Bapak Ibu? Ya, mahal ini. Ya, itu saksinya masih ada. Mana ya tadi ya? Salah satunya Mbak Tiara itu. Ini yang proyeknya Mbak Tiara. Oke, next. Ini waktu pandemi, Bapak Ibu. Waktu pandemi, kita kan nggak bisa kemana-mana. Ya, so we create this kind of topics. Then this is the result of the AI. Ya, nanti kapan-kapan saya share. Saya sekarang sedang proses memasukkan di dalam website Bapak Ibu. Nanti insya Allah kami share. Ya, ini this is the result of the stories created by the students. The Mysterious Wedang Ronde Store. Wedang Ronde dari mana Bapak Ibu? Solo ya? So we redesign the stories. Ya, idenya dari mana Bapak Ibu? Idenya dari Korea karena teman saya orang Korea Selatan gitu ya. So I would like to create drama Korea. Nah drama Korea itu kan ya kayak gitu-gitu juga ya. Ya tetapi have such kind of a different point of view. Kalau enggak apa kayak gitu latar belakangnya apa. So this is another creativity that we would like to share and design for our students. Ya, misalnya apa Bapak Ibu? Kalau SD itu apa sih sukanya? SD sukanya apa Bu? Makan apa misalnya? Apa? Dadar gulung ya. So we can make it as a digital storytelling. Seneng nggak mereka motret tukang jualnya atau motret dadar gulungnya? Ya, ya. So we make it the stories. They know about how to make and cook dadar gulung. Nah, dari mana sih bahan-bahannya? So this is the we start with the simple things, but it gives meaningful for the students. Nah, suatu saat mungkin mereka akan menggunakan dadar gulung itu untuk survive. Wah, ya simple. Ya, nah tetapi ya tetap harus disesuaikan dengan bahasa Inggris. Belajar apa mereka? Belajar apa Bapak Ibu? Misalnya prosedur, terus apa lagi? Bercerita, having good narrative stories, ya. Oke, next.
Sorry, ma'am. I think that
1 menit ya,
alright.
Bapak Ibu. ini untuk mahasiswa PAUD. Lucu-lucu ya, Bapak Ibu ya. Iya, seneng nggak? Ya, lihat aja seneng. Apalagi nanti kalau baca, kemudian nanti dibaca lagi untuk anak-anak kecil, insya Allah nanti juga bermanfaat. Next, ini kayaknya. Nah, ini what happens in my classroom. Ya, with Dr. Ju Seong Lee's program. Nah, ini kita buat apa? Digital storytelling with Dr. Timothy also. Ya, mereka berkreasi. Ya, okay, next, and then they would like to share and inspiring. It is not only just stop to the classroom, they inspire to the society. Nah, dilanjutkan tuh digital storytellingnya. It is not only for the English learning, but also this is related to the entrepreneurship. Oke, sudah kayaknya waktunya sudah habis ya nanti Bapak Ibu, mohon maaf.
Well, we are so sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, ma'am, for inspiring us with, so we can go deeper into the deep learning because the topic is deep learning, and also not about deep learning, but we can know about how to make use of AI. We can deny that our students are very familiar with the AI. So as teachers who teach Gen Z, so we have to learn about the AI and also find the positive sides of this. And now we will open for 2 questions. So anyone who would like to ask question, so please stand up and then or perhaps raise your hand first. And no? Okay, so we're going to continue first. Okay, all right, I'm sorry Bapak Ibu. So we're going to continue to our next speaker. Please welcome Dr. Chu Sung Lee from the Education University of Hong Kong. He serves as an acting head of department and associate professor, Department of English Education at the Education University of Hong Kong. Please give applause.
Thank you very much. Hello everyone. How are you doing?
Hi.
Are you feeling all right? How are you, online participants? Yeah, we are very honored and very happy to be here to share our skills, our time and expertise with you so that we can uplift all of you, either in person or online, okay? So basically today, this morning, I'm going to share our journeys together with our teachers and educators and researchers and community leaders to tackle the social issues or education issues in Solo and Indonesia. Yeah, so the title of this sharing is a human-centric ELT. ELT means English language teaching, but this talk can be applicable to other subjects or discipline. Because why? Because we want to tackle the local issue through localized innovations in collaboration with the contact experts who are all of you here. So, but the important keyword here is humans. Humans means teachers, students, educators, policymakers, NGOs, industry people. And these humans play an important role in tackling this issue, designing and tackling the social issue through our innovative research and approaches and pedagogies. So another keyword is educators. So we train educators, like all of you, teachers, for informal digital learning. So informal means non-formal, or out of class, out of school, unstructured. So here you are talking about something beyond the classroom, something beyond the formal system. So we're gonna go deeper into what I mean by this. So my name is Chu Sung Lee. I'm from Education University of Hong Kong, affiliated with the the Department of English Language Education. Also, we are under the Faculty of Humanities. Again, humans. So human people, the vital part of our projects and teaching and service. Yes, next. So when I move around, show around, I go around, I've seen many children, many young people in Solo watching movies, the comics, and playing games in English language. That's idle, informal learning. So they consume the language, target language, and they sometimes use English language outside of the classroom in the digital environments. So look at your children, look at your students. They all do it. They either by listening to music in English language or watching maybe Netflix dramas and movies in English language. So it happened outside of the formal classrooms. And we were able to conceptualize idle as an academic term so that we are able to look into more deeply. So we define it as a self-directed English learning in out-of-school digital context. Next. So this idle phenomenon is a rising and it's a global phenomenon. And even Hong Kong government recently recognized that language acquisition should not be confined to the classroom. It is important to nurture students' self-directed learning outside of the classroom. So government has offered 400,000 Hong Kong dollars to schools to boost English and Mandarin learning. So this is how they now understand the language learning shouldn't be confined to the formal classroom, but it should be beyond the classrooms. And okay, idle is a phenomenon, right? So look at your children, look at your students, even yourself. You use English language by consuming information, maybe for leisure or for entertainment, for socializations, or for various reasons. And then our research communities have delved into this phenomenon over the last 6 years, 7 years, and then this is what we have found. So we are able to very concisely and map out the mechanisms. Mechanism means how we work. For example, the students, maybe individuals who engaged in either activities more frequently are more likely to enjoy all these learning outcomes. Like they feel happier, they feel a higher sense of enjoyment, they feel they have maybe a less level of anxiety, so that they become more willing to, encouraged to speak. They take more risks by raising their hands, ask questions, they grab maybe tourists in the street and ask questions in English language. In the digital environments, they talk to even strangers in a range of different digital environments. And also it has a benefit of their cognitive cognitive means like their IQs, their school grades. We were able to measure it. And then also all the linguistic benefits as well, such as language, vocabulary, speaking, grammar, reading. So we were able to measure it and match it, the relationship between idle activities and their linguistic outcomes. So now that there is a positive correlation between idle activities and the learning outcomes, recently the researchers have started looking into the antecedents, meaning that what are the factors that have facilitated these idle behaviors, so that all of you, the teachers and parents, can actually facilitate their idle behavior so that they can have higher level of learning outcomes. So we look at the demographic factors. Oh, maybe it's genetics. Maybe because they are women, or because they are men. Maybe because they are from maybe higher income family, or they have a travel experience, overseas experience. So we have looked in all these factors, like intrinsic factor, internal factors and external factors, and also their personalities. This is important because when we, like we say intervention, well, when we give a try in the local context, like Indonesia, we can design our intervention based on the science, the evidence, already validated, proven, and the findings, the rigorously designed and done by researchers. So we have able to deepen our idle framework over the last 6 years. And then, I was able to find some of the idle articles that have been conducted in Indonesian context. I'm sure there are many other articles, but these are some of them. For example, on the left-hand side is a publication that have been published in international journals, such as Journal of Multilingual Multicultural Development, Australian Journal of Educational Technology, and ELT Journal. You can see Nur Al-Fatrajati's name, and we've been working together on this topic over the last 6 years. And on the right-hand side, the Indonesian researchers and educators have published articles on idle in the local journals, including Indonesian Journal of Applied Linguistics. And I know quite a number of doctoral students or graduate students are working on this field. So I think the idle is growing and developing and emerging in the context of Indonesia. And then actually, there's a difference between academic impact and social impact. Can you guess? Who can tell the difference between academic impact and social impact? Yes. So academic impact usually begin from the academic papers. I read papers and I find academic maybe gaps, maybe research gaps, methodological gaps, knowledge gaps. And then to fill the gaps, I read the paper, or design the research to be able to address the gaps. So I publish, and the impact, I have an impact because you have published. So we usually call it academic impacts, like citations and H-index. However, social impact is a little bit different. Why? Because the beginning, or the motivation begins from the beneficiaries. Beneficiaries means those who receive your interventions. In other words, when you use maybe innovative approaches, this is a treatment, right? This is innovation. Why? To benefit your students, to benefit your children, benefit the teachers, benefit the teacher educators in this community. So we need to understand the true needs and motivation of the beneficiaries. Then we design the innovations, innovative approaches. It can be a deep learning, or it can be informal learning, it can be AI. But again, the beginning point is to understand the real needs and problems of the beneficiaries who are going to help. So, because idle is academic, we have conceptualized it. If there's a framework, methodologically, rigorously done. Okay, very good. But whether it can be translated beyond academic campus tower into the society is questionable. So what we've done over the last 6 years, 7 years is we really try hard to understand the real needs of Indonesian students and the true motivation or true challenges of the teachers in Indonesia. So we were able to identify Indonesian English-speaking challenges. There are many, many challenges we can tackle, but we focus on speaking. Why? Speaking is a local problem, but it's also the international problem. So if we can tackle speaking issue in Indonesia, we can also tackle speaking issue globally. So we just focus on speaking issue first. And then we found two biggest issues. One is limited access. So access here means that it's broad concept, broad term. It can be a resource, it can be a language access, it can be financial access, it can be many kinds of access. So we call it access. So there's a limited access to English resources. It could be a school, it could be an individual, it could be family. So we were able to find. And then the other challenge was lack of speaking practice. Similar to Korea, China, Japan, there are not many English speakers in everyday life. Yeah. The only place they can hear English is maybe school or some private tutoring. It's too expensive sometimes, right? It's very rare for them to meet the English users. So it's true, when we visit schools, your students have very limited opportunity to speak while hear the English language in and outside of the classroom. And then we also have an interview, met them, observed them, and found that students do not seem to enjoy learning English. They think, oh, English learning is very stressful, it's boring. So when they have opportunity to speak, they become reluctant to speak, right? And then because they do not use English more often, it leads to poor speaking English. So this is how we observe, and it actually confirmed by, this phenomenon confirmed by the previous studies, and we were able to map out create our hypothesis. If we can tackle this issue in this pathway, we can actually somehow, not 100%, somehow address the speaking challenges in Indonesia. Next. We are very fortunate to have a support from internal and external sources. For example, we were able to secure the grant from external funders. Specifically, the Hong Kong governments have provide a financial support for us to be able to conduct a IDA study, first in Hong Kong, but not increasingly mainland China. So because of this support, we were able to deepen the IDA studies and develop the programs and pilot, validate it, and then we can actually scale up to Indonesia. Our university, EDUHK, also we have internal grant, so that our colleagues have been to Solo or other part of Indonesia because of those supports. And then the good news is now because of we've been working for a number of years, we have enough data and build the communities, and we've identified teacher educators, students. So recently we have applied for external grants, more larger scale external grants, specifically targeting Indonesia. So yes, this is good news. It's very important to have support. Yes, next. And then from now on, I'd like to share, if you want to conduct or do a program in like a larger scale, we cannot do it alone. We have to do it with other people. So, for example, we've been working together with the UNS and Tapolin since 2020. Like on the left-hand side, as you can see, this was our very first international knowledge transfer forum, or KT forum. It was online because I think it was because of the pandemic, I guess. And then the one in the middle is the second session. It took place in 2021. And then the one on the right-hand side is a third International Knowledge Transfer Forum. You can see the team there, Arifa, myself, together with other colleagues. So we train Indonesian teachers to learn about digital storytelling and literacy skills. But all these events took place online. Next. However, so on the left-hand side, I think it's the fourth KT forum last year, I think. Last year. And then it was a hybrid, meaning that our EDUHK colleagues have come all the way to Solo, Indonesia, and meet you one-on-one, have lunch together, share stories, have tea, laugh together. So we try to build connections and get to know you more deeply. And then the one in the middle is the fifth one. I think it took place 2 months ago, 3 months ago, in the hotel in Solo. So again, we invite you to the hotel, meet in person. Again, it's a human. We need a human touch. We like to see you. We like to hear your stories in real time. And then today, it's the sixth. So I think our activities, our partnership efforts are truly aligned with today's theme, human-centric ELT through more innovative approaches. So all these efforts was possible with the help of the UNS and TEFLIN, including Dr. Nur Arifat Jati and Professor Atomi, right? Yeah. Next. And then, the TEPLIN president in the fifth KT were able to come in person. And then the Muhammadiyah, we established our first partnership with the Muhammadiyah, the central board, a couple months ago in central Java. We actually visit the center and met the council director. And we also very honored and pleased to invite Dr. Ananto to our fifth KT forum to share his wisdom and experience and the vision about the deep learning, which was very thought-provoking and very engaging, and it gave us a lot of thoughts to think about. Next. And then we didn't stop there. We try to build communities, because in Solo there are many communities, startup, and I think with the help of the Nur Arifat Jati, we invite our students to engage with local partners, a local project with I think it's a coffee shop, right? So it was a community service. So our students use their time and expertise and skill to promote the local coffee shop globally and digitally. So the UNS students and our EDUHK students brainstorm and work together to work together. I think it was first initiative to do such community projects. Another way to build partnership was we invite our students. I think it was last year. Again, you can see team, me and another colleague, April, and together with 15 other students from our university, we actually visited Indonesia. The project was English for All in Indonesia. So we really want to nurture and create an environment where the Indonesian students can learn English, enjoy learning English. And before actually we came here, our students designed a digital storybook specifically for Indonesian primary school students. So as you can see, our students during their stay here were able to teach the English language using the books they have created. And then one event, we donate those digital storybooks to all schools, to 3 target schools, and so that the Indonesian students can continue to learn, use language even though we leave. That was our purpose. Yes. Yes. Next. And then we go deeper, like we meet our K-12 Indonesian students. Again, thanks to our wonderful RAs and assistants, as you can see, they try to, to understand how students engage in the class and activities. And then, they laugh and then we try to capture their ideas and their opinions, perception about our collaborations and projects. Next. And then graduate students. We have worked continuously with the graduate students from UNS. So we hosted like 2 brown bag sessions, including the one, I think 3 days ago. So we try to involve students, graduate students, doctoral students, master degree students, even the undergraduate students to share their the research and their ideas. I think it's our responsibility, as the researcher, to nurture the new talent. So when they involve in these kind of projects, they can observe the research in the real life manner, so that they can actually enhance their research skills, so that they can replicate it after they graduate. So I think we are still improving. I think this is a very good model for how we can nurture the graduate students.
Okay, I'm sorry, mister. We have 5 minutes left for
Yes.
the presentation.
I think we are almost finished. Next. Yeah, teachers. Oh my God, yeah, teachers. So I think many of you are here, because you attended this the workshop. I think we had a very good time. I think the one on the right hand side is Kendari. This is the far away. Yeah, Kendari. So we Kendari, and then we went there and we met the teachers and we trained them. We share our ideas, gave them a hands-on workshops. Most important thing is eating together. Eating is very important. We share foods. Yes. So this one took I think 4 days ago. I was almost die because I was eating some local food and it was choking my throat, and I was like near death experience. I like it because I can experience it when I'm in Korea or Hong Kong. So I think I truly engaged in local country. I have to try the local food and suffer the stomach ache or something like this. This painful experience, I'm sure, will pay off in the long run. I think all these funny or engaging experiences are all important and contribute to building a partnership. Next. And then industry partners. I heard that Indonesia, you have a lack of opportunity for speaking. So we invite the Budi AI, the industry partner, to provide the products. I think many of you are using this, right? So if the findings are good, we'll continue to collaborate with Budi AI. And then, yes. Because we don't have this expertise or this skill. Next. I think, this is demonstration. And then I think now we have started the research. You see, over the last 6 years, we have tried to build partnerships and build trust and build network. And then now we start research. So because of this, we were able to design a rigorous, context-specific projects tailored to your country, tailored to your community, tailored to your school, your students. When we took a trainer model, meaning that there's a teacher who provided extensive training to the master teachers like Arifa and the RAs, and those RA and Arifa train the frontline teachers. And then now we have 8 amazing community dedicated teachers, and we've been working together last 1 and 2 months. And then I think we benefit 2,820 students. I think this is some video. Your class, Kiki, we visit because we want to make sure that whether the Kiki or other teacher have actually implemented So we just, we observe and whether she have done it or not. And she did it very well, wonderfully. We are very inspirational. Oh, she's laughing. Next. And then this is actually our empirical finding. This is the real data, and then we measure before and after our intervention. And what we found was students' speaking time and their reading time, their studying time increased significantly. And also their sense of enjoyment about English learning, their willingness to communicate, their English competence, speaking competence improved. So that the 12 schools have officially adopted this IDLE model as part of the school curriculum or after-school programs. So now we are working on how we can disseminate and expanding our impact to other places based on this. Next. I think this is a testimony. Basically, students talk about how awesome, how beneficiary. Yeah, they share about their stories. Yeah, no sound. This is Farah and Kiki's students. Very wonderful. Okay, next. And then it received a local media attention. This is important because we can share our good story with various stakeholders, including policymakers and community leaders and even the parents. Parents sometimes wonder how students are doing, and we share the article, written in the way that they can understand. The academic article is too like a jargon and very heavy, right? Next. And the fundamental model is the care, innovation model. Care part is very important, like deep learning. We really need to understand the true needs of the students and teachers and teacher educators so that we define our problems and project to meet those needs. So care part is very, very important to understand the needs and challenges. And then the innovation happens. Like we call it localized innovations. We try to use the resources that are available to the local people. So some students, some schools do not have an internet. Enough data. So then we can do it with what they have. So this is our localized approaches. And the sustainability, that's why this kind of KT forum is important, because we can build a community. You can meet me and other speakers and your colleagues and friends. So we build the communities so you can be exposed to the new ideas, you can learn new skills, you can enhance your teaching skills so that it actually benefits your students. It can benefit your schools, it can benefit your communities, because their parents may be happy as well. So like the care, innovation, sustainability is the foundational model of these approaches. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why in the coming months, our university will host a Asia TEFL conference under this theme, care, innovation, and sustainability in ELT. Because a lot of times our field talk a lot about innovation without really considering the human needs. So I think, we need this theme. Okay?
Okay, let's give applause to Dr. Chu for sharing with us. It's about, I also know about the IDLE. It's perhaps a new thing for me. It's about, informal digital learning of English. As all we know that our students, and Indonesian students, yes, they are mostly reluctant to speak English, and hopefully by and also implementing the IDLE here, and they can feel relaxed, and because they also provide the setting for language that can reduce the anxiety. And also we have seen a lot of what we call social impact projects, and those for the state schools and hopefully for the Muhammadiyah schools later can be invited to join the similar program. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue to the Q&A session, so please here, okay, we would like to hear from you and teachers who can complete and the survey, and at the end of this workshop, we'll receive an e-certificate. So please use your mobile phone, scan the QR code here first. Is it clear from the back? If not, then you may please come forward, Miss or Mr. 5 minutes enough, Bapak Ibu, to fill out the survey? Or 3 minutes, because we have informed 2 minutes earlier. Okay, so 3 minutes I think is enough to fill out the survey.
So thank you very much. If you can take out your phone and please scan the QR code on the screen. So this is like a pre-survey. We're going to do it twice today. The first time now, and then we will do it again by the end of today's section. And the reason that we're doing this is we want to understand a little bit more about you and also how you rate yourself, maybe using digital devices in teaching, and how is your willingness to communicate with AI before and after today's session. So your input will help us a lot to improve the content when we prepare the next knowledge transfer in the future. So thank you very much for your input.
Ya, Bapak Ibu, kami menyampaikan survei ini untuk bisa melihat apakah seminar hari ini itu berdampak atau tidak, ya, kemudian bermanfaat atau tidak. Harapannya nanti kami akan menyusun webinar dan workshop yang bermanfaat bagi Bapak Ibu semuanya. Ya, mungkin, ya, gimana Ibu? Yes, we add. Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Yeah. Ya, Bapak Ibu, ini guru bahasa Inggris semua ya? Ya, kami mengajak Bapak Ibu guru bahasa Inggris untuk tergabung ke Teflin. Kenapa Bapak Ibu? Mungkin kami dari asosiasi itu sangat senang sekali jika Bapak Ibu guru bergabung dengan Teflin. Universitas sering mengadakan penelitian Bapak Ibu dan pengabdian masyarakat. Kami membutuhkan sekolah-sekolah untuk menguji coba dan juga sharing terkait dengan hasil penelitian kami. Selanjutnya, manfaat bagi Bapak Ibu guru adalah ada materi-materi yang disiapkan untuk Bapak Ibu guru. Kita juga kerjasama dengan British Council, kita kerjasama dengan universitas-universitas dari dalam dan luar negeri untuk teacher professional development di Indonesia. Kiranya nanti mungkin dengan Pak Mustafa Pak Sutomo, mohon maaf, Pak Sutomo, mohon maaf, Pak Sutomo, kiranya nanti ada biasanya setiap tahun kami mengadakan Teacher Award, Bapak. Kemudian ada beberapa guru yang dikirim ke konferensi, baik dalam maupun luar negeri. Nah, ini kesempatan kita bersama Bapak Ibu untuk kita maju bersama. Mudah-mudahan berkah untuk kita semuanya. Nah, ini Bapak Sutomo, salah satu kegiatan kami yang akan bergerak bersama adalah pelatihan deep learning. Silahkan Bapak Ibu untuk bergabung. Seluruh Indonesia kami akan melaksanakan secara serentak dari bulan Mei ini sampai Agustus. Ya, silahkan Bapak Ibu untuk bergabung. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Apakah sudah muncul Bapak Ibu untuk level elementary atau junior high school?
Yeah, maybe needs sometimes for delivering to the participants for elementary school teachers.
Well, Bapak Ibu, while waiting for Miss Wincy, okay, to upload or to add the items about the elementary school and also the junior high school. And now let me open the Q&A session. So please, whoever wants to ask question, raise your hand. Okay, and then our team perhaps will help you with the microphone. Miss, yes, somebody is. Miss, could you please? And please stand up, Mister. Kindly mention your name, your school, and also whom is the question is addressed to. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
My name is Oki Safianandaru and I'm from Muhammadiyah Al Kausar Senior High School. What I'm gonna ask, the first question is for Mrs. Arifah. My first question is, in the beginning you said that deep learning is about honoring students, honoring teachers, and honoring books. And now our position is as a teacher. Yeah. How we honor our students, but they still respect us as their teacher, they still respect us, how to honor students without lowering our dignity as their teacher. And the second question, may I? Yeah, the second question is about the use of AI. We cannot deny, we cannot avoid it that nowadays we as a teacher or maybe the students use more AI than us. But the negative side of the AI is the students will lose maybe their originality of their work. Maybe they will plagiarism, bias, and so on, and maybe they lose their 4 skills that you have stated before. Do you have some tips for us as a teacher, how to handle this problem? How the students may use the AI, but they don't lose their plagiarism. They don't lose their 4 skills of those about how to use AI. The third, may I?
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Oki from SMA Modern Al Kausar.
Next, maybe.
Oh, next.
May I?
Oh, next
may I
question.
still? Mr. Lee, your research about our English learning process in Indonesia, I think that's correct. Because we know that we learn Indonesia is not our first or second language. We learn English as foreign language. We have many limitations in our learning English. We have limitation to access the English resource. We have limitation in speaking practice outside the classroom. We know that our students already have many subjects outside English, mathematics, physics, and even Arabics. And also, maybe students don't think that English is as important as other subjects like biology, mathematics. Different from other. Every city has different their necessity of learning English. Maybe in Jakarta, they have bigger necessity. Students have bigger necessity in learning English than maybe in Solo or maybe in smaller city like Ungaran, Kudus, or the other. And maybe this is not about a question, Mr. Lee. This is about a request. Would you maybe someday visit our school to motivate my students in learning English so that they will think that English is important? Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Oki, for the question. Will be directly answered by Bu Arifah first.
Okay, thank you, Bapak Oki, yeah, SMA Al Kausar, yeah. So it's not so familiar. Yeah. Okay. So for the first questions, talking about honoring students without related to the impolite and etc. So maybe we learn together how to have this kind of new habit, how to honor our students. First is giving them such kind of room to talk. But at the same time, we give also the students time to think, for example, and also giving their voices. Yeah, that's honoring the students. The second one is we will not get easily too angry with our students. I'm still learning about this. Though I teach for my university students. Jadi saya itu kalau pagi-pagi Bapak Ibu, doa saya salah satunya, ya Allah, hilangkanlah rasa marah kepada mahasiswa saya. Ya. Itu saya coba untuk, saya sampai kadang-kadang juga merinding sendiri karena mahasiswa itu ya mungkin dari kecil sampai SMA itu kadang-kadang membuat kita itu emosi ya Bapak Ibu ya. Iya. Jadi bukan hanya anak kecil saja, ternyata anak besar juga gitu. Langsung melirik mahasiswa saya. Iya. Itu mungkin salah satu caranya. That's one of the examples. Give them room to talk and also to give their own voice. And the second one is without any anger, we talk with them. Yeah. This is the things that we may learn together. It is not easy, but I think we can. That's humanizing students. Ya, termasuk juga Bapak Ibu, kita mungkin kadang-kadang lupa memuliakan kitab, memuliakan buku. Hampir mungkin kalau saya lihat di universitas ya, jarang yang mencatat. Betul ya Mas ya? Ya. Mungkin di SD masih ya, Bapak Ibu ya. SMP masih, SMA masih, kuliah hilang. Kenapa? Setiap ini foto. Seperti kita maksudnya. Ya, ternyata Bapak Ibu kita perlu juga honoring the books. Saya juga agak melirik ke Prof. Jusyongli. Prof. Jusyongli ini Bapak Ibu, I talk the good things about you. He always take notes everywhere. Everywhere. Di pesawat nyatet. Di pesawat baca. Itu menurut saya suatu kebiasaan yang tidak bisa dilakukan otomatis langsung. Tetapi dibiasakan dari kecil. Dari SD, SMP, SMA, kuliah. Ini Bapak Ibu, anak kuliah pun itu saya wajibkan untuk mencatat. Dan saya nilai, kayak anak SD juga ya Bu ya. Yeah. But this is the things, how we honor the knowledge. Nur, cahaya. Ya, jadi tadi mungkin saya presentasinya kurang ini ada beberapa bahwa ilmu itu diturunkan. Ilmu itu adalah cahaya. Cahaya itu apakah di kepala kita? Tidak, tetapi di dalam hati kita. Ini yang kita coba untuk how to honor teachers, how to honor students, how to honor book and everything that we need to educate ourselves. Ya, ini Bapak Ibu ya itu ya. Mungkin sementara itu jawaban saya. Yang kedua, ini how to create the 4C skills. This is actually needs a process because for my own experience, I try to design how the students cannot do plagiarism by doing the project, by giving them a problem. Ya. Bapak Ibu, kita sadari ya, Kenapa banyak mahasiswa yang tidak bisa menyelesaikan masalah? Kenapa? Karena tidak kita biasakan di kelas-kelas kita. Padahal masalahnya sederhana. Air tumpah aja, cuma diem aja. Ya, tapi mungkin bukan di sekolah Muhammadiyah ya. Mudah-mudahan tidak ya di Muhammadiyah. Tapi that's happen. Ya, ada misalnya apa itu namanya yang menghalangi jalan. Ya diam saja. Actually that's a problem. Ya, kenapa Bapak Ibu? Nah, kadang-kadang kita balik Bapak Ibu. Mahasiswa atau siswa kita diminta untuk buat masalah. Buat masalah, maksudnya mencari masalah, bukan membuat masalah. Ya, mencari masalah. Ternyata tidak mudah Bapak Ibu untuk mencari masalah. Jadi starting from finding problems. So they cannot copy, paste. Why? Because this is based on the problem in the context. Masalahnya apa Bapak Ibu? Misalnya mereka susah makan. Ada kan anak SD yang susah makan ya? That's the problem. Yeah. So the problem is near their lives, their daily lives. Then how to solve the problem? So they can think about themselves. Nah ini untuk mencegah plagiarism, copy paste dan sebagainya. This is happen when I teach my university students. We have to design the lessons. Nah ini yang penting Bapak Ibu. Jadi bukan hanya kita mengajar, tetapi kita mendesain pembelajaran itu sehingga siswa-siswa itu mempunyai pembelajaran bermakna. Bermakna untuk siapa? Apakah untuk gurunya? No, for themselves. Ya, tadi mungkin yang tadi dadar gulung tadi ya, kan suatu saat siapa tahu untuk surviving gitu, ketika yang ada cuma telur gitu, ya. So this is the example. Thank you Bapak for the questions. Yeah, next.
The next question is for Mr. Chu about the limitation for the students in learning or speaking English outside the classroom, and also they are less motivated, feeling that it's not as important as other subjects.
Yes. So I think adding to Dr. Aripatradati's point, I think there's a difference between respect and admiration. The respect, I think we need to respect our students because they are humans. Regardless of their age, gender, because they are our fellow humans, we have to respect them. But there is a different, admiration is different. I think the teacher like you need to take a step further, one step or more steps to really understand their needs and then think. And then come up with some maybe new approaches and solutions. And you come here is actually an act of admiration because you come here to enhance your skills so that you want to improve your students' skills, knowledge. So I think that act is a worthy receiving admirations. So because you care about your students and students actually feel it. So in that regard, I think you inviting us to your school is the act of admiration. Yeah, thank you very much. And I really appreciate it because when I was high school, there's one high school English teacher who took us outside of the classroom by using pen pal. Do you know pen pal? That was before the internet. But he knew that concept pen pal and then invite a few students, including me, high school students, and link us to American high school students. So we wrote down English language and sent it out for 2 months. But those process was new and it was eye-opening. But he thought outside of box. It actually influenced me. I mean, that little teacher's act, small act make a difference on many students, including myself. I think you came here to learn and you took risks to invite us to your school. Is I think great act, great efforts. I think your students will truly admire you. Yes, not respect you, but admire you. Yes, thank you very much. I think it goes to everybody. Teacher here need to be, deserve to admiration from your students. And I think English is important, not because it's a school subject, because if you go like Jakarta, other part of the country, they use English. And it only not only not because of the academic, like a school or the career. I mean the academic university, but it's also open like a career opportunity, social opportunity, global opportunities. So it's good. Also, it's also good for each individual students. It opened their eyes. It really broadened their world view. And so also they can think. I think I like this. They can think and act outside of box, outside of system. When they are only study here in Solo, I think they can think within this system. But when they learn English, they can think beyond. Because English not only the language, but it also gives the culture, information, and mindset, and worldviews, and perspectives. So I think the teacher, all of you here, are great educators and the educators, because you are nurturing the students' mindsets and worldview and other area that really important in today's 21st century. That's why we need to learn English. And then maybe Tim and I, maybe we may bring our students to your school. So yeah, give us your contact information.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chu, for giving the tips about the problem that Mr. Oki faced in his school. All right, Bapak Ibu, because of the limited time for our first session, so I would like to end our first session here because. Yeah, okay. Perhaps some of you, okay, have been talking about when will we have the coffee break or something like that. Okay, and once again, please give applause to our inspiring speakers today. Thank you so much, Bu Arifa and also Mr. Chu for sharing with us. And as a teacher, please not only thinking about the theory, but also after this, let's try to implement it in our school. Let's start from the simple thing because it's a new paradigm, and let's start from simpler one. Okay, and thank you so much also to the audiences for the first session, and we are going to have 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes for the break before we continue to the second session that will be led by Mr. Wakas Ahmad from 11 Maret University. I am Rizka Denmarmatasari, and now I will step back for my moderator. Okay, and let us get back to our Master of Ceremony. See you next time, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you, Ms. Rizka, for the first moderator in session 1. And thank you for the active participation. Let us now take a short coffee break for 10 minutes. Thank you.
And the keynote speakers in this session will be Dr. Timothy Taylor from the Education University of Hong Kong. And the second one is Ms. Wan Yi Winsele from the Education University of Hong Kong. Thank you.
Thank you for the introduction, and good morning, good late morning, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm noticing one thing, that you all are so great people, and just listening to the speakers, really focused and with concentration. So I would like you to just have a clap for yourselves. Dear teachers, like we listen and we hear this, that the language is the soul of civilization. So if the language is the soul of civilization, then let today's discussion and the second session could be the heart for revolution in the term of language teaching. Today, the second session let us dive deep into the intersection of technology, the teaching reflective practices, and professional development. We can also say that like this is a collaborative session, so collaboration is not just an option, but rather I would say it is the backbone of any educational ecosystem that dares to grow us as a teacher. The most powerful thing, like the form of professional development, begins not with the directions or directives, but with the question that how I as a teacher can grow. And also like as teachers, let us ask ourselves some basic questions. For example, in the age where students are more innovative in terms of the use of AI, how to create human-centric classrooms? That is the question, like how to create the classrooms there which are human-centric, where students are more innovative than the teacher. So to answer and to find the answer to this question, we mainly need two things, I believe. One is reflective practices. Number second is personalized support and learning. But how to guide ourselves with these two strategies? That is the second question to answer the first question. And let's listen to our guest speaker, Professor Dr. Timothy William Taylor, who is a senior lecturer and associate head at the English department at the Education University of Hong Kong. Please welcome Dr. Tim Taylor.
Hello? Okay. So it's very, very nice to be here today. Thank you. Thank you to our hosts. We had so many VIPs and special guests to come and welcome us here and to greet you and to thank you for your participation. And I also want to add my special thanks. This visit is only my fourth visit to Indonesia. So I'm still a learner about Indonesian schools. But from my experience living in Asia, in Hong Kong and other places in Asia for a very long time, I feel quite at home here already. And one of the reasons is you're so welcoming. I think Indonesian culture is very hospitable. So I feel very welcome here and happy to have the opportunity to share with all of you. Before I go to my slides, I just want to ask you to join me in using your imagination. And I think it's very interesting as we talk about innovation and deep learning and AI in education. I think our experts have collected a lot of knowledge and data and evidence, which is very helpful to give us insights about what can we do, what should we do. But as you, as teachers, reflect, you're actually reflecting on very real evidence as well. Your classroom experience is evidence of teaching and learning. And so all of us bring something. All of us bring something to the table, which if we can organize, if we can coordinate, and if we can communicate all of our best practices and best experience, imagine how efficient and effective our progress would be. So in this room, we have maybe, let's just say, around 100 teachers. And many of you look very young. And so maybe let's just say the average experience of teaching here is around 5 years, maybe more, but let's say 5 years. If we have 100 teachers with 5 years of experience, we have 500 years of experience just in this room. Now, maybe we have 1,000 online. That's 5,000 years of experience. Can you imagine? If we can communicate and coordinate what works, what challenges do we face, how do we face them, how do we overcome them, how do we make progress, then we can just move our schools, move our students forward so efficiently. But the challenge, in fact, not just our challenge in Indonesian schools, but all over the world, and you can even say for human history, the challenge is effective coordination of our experience. And you could say that human progress comes from collective learning, collective sharing. We don't have to invent the wheel in every generation. So my sharing with you today, teacher-driven professional development for human-centric ELT, the perspective that I want to share is how do we collect teachers' experience? How do we collect your best experience, your best insights, that you provide a very vital, necessary, essential, I can say, leg or ingredient to the coordinated efforts of researchers, government, and schools in making some kind of progress. So how do we do that? First of all, let's talk about innovation. So next slide, please. Okay, so we're talking a lot about innovation. And as an English teacher, when I use vocabulary in my classroom, I don't like to assume that everyone has the same definition. Maybe we have different ideas about what a word means, not only as students of English, but also teachers of English. Let's get on the same page. So from the dictionary, the definition of innovation is the introduction of novelty, alteration of what is established, so change, a change in the nature or fashion of anything, something newly introduced, a novel practice or method. Now, I think you all know what innovation means. But what I want to point out to you is that the definition of innovation does not mean that it's positive. You see, innovation is neutral. Innovation can be some kind of major change which is not helpful or even harmful. Or, as we usually use the word, it may be something very good, very helpful. So part of the confusion that we have talking about AI is that we don't know. And Arafa gave us a very clear presentation of the pros and cons of using AI in education. There really is both. We can't say AI is great, it's the future of education, or, oh, it's going to destroy the opportunities for human interaction and human learning. It's not either or. The answer is it's both, and it's our responsibility as teachers to decide the way forward, to make the use of AI. I don't think teachers should say AI is good, AI is bad. And I know many teachers who say AI is the future, it's everything, and others who say it's terrible. I think it's how we use AI, which is good or bad. It's a tool. It's a tool, and in the right hands, it can be very powerful. So why do we innovate? We innovate because we have to. We have to. That human organizations like schools, we're talking about schools here, are organisms. They're organic. They must continue to grow or they'll die. And you see in other sectors of society, sometimes change is very dynamic. Now, schools are not businesses, and they shouldn't be businesses because we're valuing the education of our students, not valuing profit. But even so, we can learn something from business. Business adapts to change very, very quickly. And that's something that schools can actually learn to do also. So when we talk about why innovate, the reason we innovate is to make sure that the education that our students are getting, when they walk outside the door, it's still relevant. I visit schools in many places, and it's very interesting, it's fascinating, that in some schools I walk in, I feel like I'm visiting the future. I feel like, wow, the way they're teaching the kids, these kids will be so prepared to be workers, to be citizens, to contribute service to their society in 2030, 2035, 2045. I walk into other schools, I'm time traveling. Once I go to the future, I walk in another school, I feel like it's 1975. And the teaching, the curriculum, the mindset is far in the past. And I understand why. It's difficult for all of us to change. It's painful, it's difficult, it's confusing, so we want to do what is comfortable and safe. But we have to think about our students and we have to think about our community and our future. So if we're teaching our students like it's 1975, when they leave school, they'll be ready to work in a society like it's 1985 or 1990. They're not going to be ready. So I hope that we can cooperate, work together for effective change. These are some of the challenges. Next slide. The challenges to innovation. Yes, this is something I've just mentioned. Innovation are seeds of institutional growth. Okay. So some of the obstacles, what's stopping us? I mentioned that, we're comfortable with the way things are. So risk aversion. We don't like taking risks. There's very often in schools, there's no incentive. There's no motivation or no strong reason. A siloed curriculum refers to what the lack of communication we have between different schools or even different subjects within one school. And in some schools I visit, I don't know about your schools, in some schools even the teachers in the same subject are not always communicating very effectively. I hope in your schools you have good communication. But this is some of the obstacles. So there's a lot of other obstacles to innovation, but let's be more positive. Let's look at the next slide. So seeds. This is what can motivate us. These are some of the seeds. Back one slide, please. Yes. Okay, so these are some of the seeds of innovation. So in order to motivate or inspire or to find change, we can look for specific teaching strategies that will increase our efficiencies, that can recontextualize our learning, that can develop new skill sets, like AI literacy is something we've been talking about. Self-directed learning is something Dr. Lee has talked about in IDLE, and his project here is really developing new skill sets for self-directed learning. This is a very good example of a contemporary curriculum. If you talked about self-directed learning in English education 20, 30, 40 years ago, people would have no idea what are you talking about. You really had to have more reliance on the teacher who had the expertise and resources. But everything has changed. And now there's technology and resources in which we can train students to be, in some ways, their own teachers. We can be coaches to coach the students in self-directed learning. This can be very powerful. So these seeds of innovation, if you have looked into or thought about deep learning, we are talking about deep learning, you can see parallels here. Deep learning and innovation is about crossing traditional boundaries. So English teachers, maybe we can learn from science teachers, computer science teachers. We can learn from teachers of traditional languages, and they can learn from us. So this is some of the characteristics of deep learning and innovation, is thinking outside of the box, thinking outside of the traditional mindset and creating new content. Okay, so the next slide is about the process of planning innovation. But I won't talk about this very much because I want to get into what teachers can do in a very practical, organized sense to organize at the individual level or at the school level or between schools to actually communicate about specific steps. But from the academic point of view, so we're coming from the Education University of Hong Kong, from the academic point of view, we have to think about systems and structures and policy. And so these are just some steps that we can offer to help you as teachers in schools to innovate by offering technology courses or giving training in embedding instructional strategies or technology and new methods into content courses. But especially the third one is what I'd like to emphasize, which is collaborative opportunities for technology-enhanced teaching and learning. And I know from my experience in Hong Kong and China that teachers really like to learn from other teachers. And when you're a young teacher, a new teacher, or a student teacher, you remember observing other teachers. And you're like a sponge. Like, oh, she's so good, she's so skillful. And then you're eager to try that out. And I hope that we can organize teachers so that you can continue to do that. Not just when you're a new teacher, a young teacher, a starting teacher, you know you need a lot of good experience to reflect. But very often we get busy and we get burdened. And if you're a good teacher, as I know all of you are, you get more burden and you get more responsibility and you take on more because you care. You're really caring about your students, so you take. Some of my student teachers, they're so young, but they're so caring. They'll say, I want to give individual help to every one of my students because their learning is so different from one another. I can't just teach to the class. I say, well, good luck with that. You know, you have one resource is always limited, which is time. So that's why we have to talk about efficiencies. Okay, next slide. So I think you know TPAC, right? I think most of you know TPAC. We're talking about innovating, using, and introducing new technologies and new pedagogies, and in some cases, new content. And so TPAC is a very useful framework which helps us to think about balancing how we teach and what we teach and the tools with which we teach. So again, AI is a technology. It doesn't say anything about how we teach or what we teach. It's talking about the technology with which we teach. And so TPAC is just a constant reminder for balance. And this is one of the themes of my sharing today, is that I have seen again and again and again, one of the things that helps teachers and helps schools to progress is balance and moderation. And I know the Muhammadiyah organization is a very balanced, moderate organization, which is, you know, constantly looking at the contributions of traditional society and the needs of contemporary society. So I'm very happy that you've invited us here to share today, because I think that this is a very healthy way forward, is to look for balances. And so let's go forward 2 slides. Yeah. So this graph looks a little bit like TPAC because we have the 3 concentric circles, but I'm not talking about TPAC here. I'm talking about innovation. How does innovation happen in a society? And I want to return to the concept that TPAC offers us of balancing technology, content, and pedagogy, but we have other things to balance as well. And that includes the stakeholders. So there are many different stakeholders in a society who have different perspectives, different resources, different strengths. And I know that all of these stakeholders have a lot to offer, but sometimes when we're talking about social change or educational change, sometimes we become too focused on only one of these stakeholder areas. So let me ask you a question. If someone said, you can keep 2 of the following 3 things, but you have to give me 1, which one would you give me? And they said, you can keep your brain or your backbone, your spine, or your heart. You can keep any two of the three, but you have to give away one. Would you like to give away your brain, or your backbone, or your heart? Who would like to give away their brain? Who would like to give away their backbone? And who would like to give away their heart? Okay, now, many of you did not answer because you know it's a trick question. The answer is, I want to keep all three. I'd like to keep all three. If you must give away one, it's an impossible dilemma. You really don't want to give away. Maybe you value your heart and your backbone, your ability to do something, and you think intellect, well, there's other people who can give me the ideas. So maybe you can make a difficult decision. But the best answer is, please don't take any of these three. And so this is a metaphor for our stakeholders, that we sometimes spend too much attention looking at the policy. It's essential. It's the backbone. And we need policy, we need government organizations, and we need these social organizations to help us organize and implement. They, like our backbone, they connect all of the different parts of the body. So very key. Research, like Professor Lee's research in IDLE, is collecting evidence of what has happened and what works. So analysis and synthesis and processing and comparing and reviewing, all of this is brain work. But even so, my colleague, Dr. Lee, he also has a big heart, even though he's working in academia. He really also has a big heart. And I think of teachers, you teachers, as the heart of education. You're really providing the care, the frontline care and support for our students. So we want to find ways that all three of these stakeholders can work together very well. So, but I'm going to talk about, next slide please. I'm going to talk about some very specific ways in which you as teachers can coordinate and cooperate to innovate, to affect change. And because I haven't had an opportunity to visit very many of your schools, I've been to a few last time we came, so I have some ideas about the curriculum and the teaching, the organization in some schools. I know that every school is unique, and as every teacher, you have a unique situation. So you can think about which one of these things might work for you or might appeal to you. And I would just encourage you to participate in some kind of organization or effort or project that will continue to move your insights forward, either individually or with your school or among teachers. And I'm sure that you're doing this in some ways already. So we can also talk about this during the discussion period. So the three teacher-driven research and professional development approaches that have been proven to be very effective by researchers and by experience include the lone teacher who can do action research. And all of you as teachers are doing some kind of action research. When you are teaching from the textbook, or you're trying to use AI, or you're teaching maybe digital storytelling and you're integrating book creator, you're experimenting. You're trying something out, and then you reflect on it, and you say, oh, that worked so well. My students were so motivated. They really learned a lot. Or that did not go as I expected. Maybe you had so many technical problems, or maybe the parents had some complaint about something, or maybe even your students, you thought they would like it, they don't care. So many possible problems, but you reflect. You reflect and you change and you go forward. When you systematize this approach, you're actually doing teacher action research, this process of...
Sorry for interruption. You have just 3 minutes left.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, 3 minutes. Oh, wow. Time flies. Okay. Maybe I take 5. Actually, the last part of my sharing is really my own experience sharing. So this will be what we have done in Hong Kong to try to organize teachers from many different kinds of school, from many different kinds of experience, many different kind of initiatives. And I also want to learn more about what you're doing to organize yourself in schools. And I think we can work together to connect schools, not just in Hong Kong, not just in Java, but in all of Indonesia, in Hong Kong. And even we can learn from each other when we connect teachers across very diverse cultural and national contexts. Okay, so lone teacher research is action research with one teacher, as I've just described, in one classroom. Lesson study or learning study is something you may or may not have heard about or participated in. This is when a team of teachers with common interests, maybe some of the teachers in your school want to use AI. And so you get together with a group with common interests to coordinate your learning. This can be the teaching team research approach or learning study. And the next one, which I'm interested in, is to connect teachers across schools. This doesn't mean every teacher in every school. It means teachers like you who have a motivation and an interest in innovation, AI, technology, deep learning, to connect with each other and learn from each other's experience. So learning study, next slide. Learning study is one teacher-centered approach where a group of teachers at one school can organize with the support, perhaps of an academic who knows the research very well. So when Zhu Xiong is helping a school with IDLE, he brings knowledge of the research, but if it's in one school, the teachers bring knowledge about the students and the curriculum and the culture and the language ability of the students. So working together, the teachers provide this essential part of the kind of action research cycle which will move it forward in the school. So learning study is an area that I think is very powerful, but let's go forward now. I'll just show you some slides. I can give another talk about learning study if you're interested. So next slide. Okay, many steps in learning study, but within just a few weeks, one term or one semester, a few months, you can make very concrete progress in your target of learning, such as integrating AI in affecting deep learning in English education. Now, we from universities can make some suggestions about that. But what I find is the best way to start is to ask you, what are the challenges? What problems do you face? What are your concerns? What is your training background? So all of these things can be very essential in designing the approach. Okay? So we have a very effective lesson study team. Let's go to the next slide. But, I've shown you this slide. This is just an example of one of the teacher-led innovations. Community of practice, next slide. Community of practice is the third slide I showed you, where we begin to connect groups of teachers from schools all over a region or even all over a country, which will give others an opportunity to learn from their experience. So this is a way we try to maximize the benefit of your practical experience and also compare and contrast it with others with similar experience. But in terms of directing this, it's a little bit different than a project. Like an IDLE project will have very specific directed outcomes. A school policy, a new textbook or new curriculum will have very directed outcomes. But a community of practice is often different in that it's a little bit more an invitation to change. So you as teachers can listen to the experience of your colleagues in different schools and you can decide, does that work for us? Does that fit for us? Or maybe we would like to do a project like IDLE. And so you have the resources available from the community of practice. Next slide. So there has been a good amount of research done about communities of practice in Indonesia, and you'll recognize Dr. Nur there has written an article about TPAC development in the online community of practice. Next slide. And other research about communities of practice using technology in English education. Next slide. And in Oman, so not Indonesia, but again, learning from the practical experience of frontline teachers in different places can give insights that might be very effective in Indonesia as well. So we have now some research summary. I'm going to take 2 minutes just to wrap up now by showing you, next slide, something about in Hong Kong, what have we done to try to exercise an organic, active, friendly, and welcoming way for teachers in different schools to share practical experience. So imagine that you're not only an experienced teacher, but you're also a student teacher all of your life, learning from your good colleagues and other experts with different experience. Where do you go to do that? You come to seminars, you go to workshops, you have professional development, but a hub of a community of practice can be a place that you can always go to share your practical experience and always get some expertise and resources. So let's go through these slides a little bit quickly. Okay, next. This just shows the background of our Hong Kong community of practice e-teachers, which started with teachers like you who said, we love the classes, we learn a lot, but we learn a lot from our classmates, other teachers as well. How can we keep in touch? Okay, next slide. Next one. You can look at our pictures, since I don't have very much time. Enjoy the pictures of Hong Kong teachers. So we start by going to the schools and asking them what they need. So in green, you can see the focus of our community of practice in different schools. Process writing with apps. Next one. In this one, flipped class teaching with video in another school. Next one. Reading with ebooks, so digital storytelling with different apps, including Book Creator, PowerPoint, Spark. Okay, next one. And then we get together. So you see in each school, there's a different project because it's a different school. And they have a school-based curriculum, and they have learners with different motivation and needs. And so this community of practice allows us to do something unique in each of the schools, and then bring everybody together, either face-to-face or online. Next slide. And then we did it year after year. Next one. And then we entered a second phase during the pandemic. Next slide. Where we did continue to visit schools and have new focus, like learning skills with Ed Puzzle. Next one. And reading and integrated skills. And if we can't get together on campus, we can get together online. So we're also learning as a community. Okay, next slide. So we've done this year after year. You can see Jusiong there in the middle next to me. So partners with many schools, and each project and partnership is unique. Okay, next. And now we're in the third phase of expanding the community through this online hub, which is something I would like to invite you to join as well. So if you are interested in learning more about our e-teachers community of practice in Hong Kong, we often have Indonesian teachers join us for the roundtable event, which is now done hybrid, both in Hong Kong and online. And I think some of you may have joined it before, but every summer we will invite people from all over the world to share their experience, to learn from one another, and try to benefit from your practical classroom experience in which you've shown direct care for your students, and then you can turn and show care for your your colleagues in different schools and different places so that we can continue to learn together. So I hope that in the future, I know you do have forums for professional development and online communities of practice in Indonesia, but I really hope that we can have a focused community of practice for those of you who are interested in integrating technology. And that provides a very efficient way for us to continue with the professional development from school to school all across Java and maybe all across Indonesia. So thank you very much for your time. I hope we can talk more later.
Thank you. So, dear audience, it was Dr. Tim Taylor who was leading us as learners, educators, and as visionaries. So, now let's look towards the shimmering future of artificial intelligence and how to use applications of AI to empower and make our teaching more engaging. So, I believe that we stand at the brim and very edge of the digital dawn, where even the smallest AI tools can spark a very big difference and with the greatest transformations. So again, I would just say, let us ask ourselves another question, and that is, do we care about AI? So the answer is yes, we do. But why do we care about artificial intelligence? So because it will replace us in the future? No, because it will just empower us in the future. So to make ourselves as teachers more empowered, more connected, and I would just say more closer to the future highest ends possibilities, we need AI. So with these questions in mind, we welcome a brilliant emerging scholar from the Education University of Hong Kong, Miss Lai Wen Yi Wensi, PhD scholar from EDU HK. So let's welcome Miss Wensi, please.
Selamat pagi. Apa kabar? Nama saya Wincy. Saya dari Hong Kong. Saya dari the Education University of Hong Kong at the Department of English Language Education. So I'm very happy to meet all of you and also our participants online as well. We are going to learn how to empower AI with some simple tools that can enhance your English teaching. So today we will have 4 goals. The first goal is that I would like to invite all of you to hear your voices and to share your challenges, your everyday obstacles that stop you from using Idol that was introduced by Ju. Like what are the obstacles that stop you from promoting informal digital learning of English while teaching English? Like why are students who refuse to use digital tools to learn English, and why is it hard for you to teach English using digital devices and promoting them to use it outside school? And the second goal is how to generate texts that are helpful in teaching English. The third goal is how to generate images for free. And the last goal is how to create a song for free as well. So let's start with our first goal of today. So I would like to invite all of you to take out your phone and scan the QR code here. Next slide, please. Yes, perfect. So you can take out your phone and scan the QR code. So there you will be taken to like a Padlet. So Padlet is a platform that is like an online post-its where you can see everyone's opinions. And I would like to invite all of you that as an EFL teacher, as English as a foreign language teacher, what hinders you from using Idol to teach English? And I would like to ask all of you to share some point forms. Point forms are good. So share some point forms from individual. Is it about maybe I'm not confident in teaching English with Idol? Or the second factor, school. Is it because other teachers are not supportive? Is it because the school, they refuse, they don't prefer us to use IDO to teach English? Or the third factor, government. Is it because of the lack of infrastructure, the limited resources that we have at school? Or the last one, cultural. Maybe the parents or the students, they are not comfortable because they have been getting used to learning from textbook, or they prefer to use Netflix for their own leisure instead of relating it to English. So once you scan the QR code, you will be taken to this page and you can click the plus sign. It can be maybe in orange or pink, the plus sign. And there you will see the white one on the left-hand side. So in the subject, please put your name and your school name. Your name and your school name in the subject. And in the content, you can discuss your obstacles learning using IDO to teach English. So, next slide, please. Yes. So maybe we will have, let's say, 5 minutes for everyone to put in your challenges. And remember, we welcome point forms. So you can keep it simple and short. But we would like all of you to talk about different factors. And there is a sample there, so you can always refer to it. So I'm going to walk around, and if you have any technical issues or if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. So please do not worry if you haven't submitted it yet, because I will keep this page open, but because of the time limit, we will move forward to another section, but I will keep it open, so do not worry. So next slide, please. Yeah, next slide, please. Yes, so today we're going to learn how to generate text, images, and audios with AI. So we got 3 big objectives today. And let's start with text. Next slide. So before we start, I would like to ask, have you used AI chatbots before as a teacher? If you do, you can let me know. Yes. And which kind of AI chatbot have you used before? Like ChatGPT? Yes. Maybe Poll? We begin with Poll. Yeah, so there are tons of AI chatbots. But today I would like to focus on a specific one. That is called Perplexity AI. So Perplexity AI, you may ask, what is the difference between Perplexity AI and ChatGPT? Well, ChatGPT is very good, I would say, but it's good for general Q&A. Usually I use it for maybe, can you plan some itineraries for me, or can you answer some questions for me? However, for Perplexity, it's good for research because their answers come with sources. So one of the common complaints that we heard from students and also from teachers is that ChatGPT sometimes is not accurate. Their responses are incorrect. And one of the reasons is because ChatGPT's responses are based on large language models, which means that sometimes if we feed it with false information, they will give out false information because that's how it learns. However, for Perplexity AI, it has a high fact accuracy because every time all responses come with real articles and real sources, and they will provide you all the websites as well. So, and also the last question is, does it use the internet? So somehow for ChatGPT, if we use the lower model, the free version in the beginning, it's based on the data that was a little bit outdated. However, for Perplexity AI, First, it's free of charge. And second, it's always up to date because it conducts real-time search. Next slide, please. So there are two examples that I use Perplexity AI when teaching English. Example one is that sometimes teachers, we are required to prepare reading lists for students to read before we teach the topic. And it's a little bit hard to find like updated resources that students may find interesting. So this is a prompt that I use is list 5 articles or short stories suitable for intermediate EFL students. And here I put their specific age as well, age 15 to 17. And the topic is about extinct animal protection. So it's a very common topic, usually maybe for IELTS or for some like speaking tests. Next slide, please. And this is the responses that I received from Perplexity AI, is that I received a list of articles that I can share with students and also with the sources. So there are a total of 8 websites that they used based on and when providing the responses. And a few including the BBC Learning English or maybe other science journal, which we know that are legitimate sources that we can use. Next slide, please. And if we click sources, we can see the brief description of each website that we would like to based on. So here it saves a lot of our time because maybe we can use Google when we are looking for reading articles, but Perplexity AI can help filter your articles for you. So it saves all the teachers like time and also workload. Next slide. And the second example is that sometimes we are teaching maybe some like more complex topic, let's say grammar or idioms that are a little bit hard for students to understand. And we're always looking for ways to make it more interesting. So here my prompt is, give me examples of idioms about animals used in British English with context sentences. So I would like to have the idioms about animals and also their sample sentences. Next. And here is the list of responses I got. So I got some examples like hold your horses or horse around or get the lion's share. Next. And other than the list, I also have the sources like last time. Next. And one of my favorite features from Perplexity is that it helps filter the videos as well. So if I would like to share the videos for students to watch before class or even play it during class, Perplexity can help me filter them based on its responses, videos, and sources. So here I can get 3 things from one prompt. And maybe it usually takes, let's say, around 3 minutes for it to generate responses. So this is what I like to use with Perplexity AI. Next, please. And this is a QR code and a website for Perplexity AI, so you can explore it further after today. Next. So here we move to our third goal of today. That is how to generate images with AI. And I understand that some teachers would like to create some digital books, or they would like to create some multimedia resources so that students, they won't be so, maybe sometimes you're a little bit tired or they find English like not that interested in learning it. So we would like to engage them with different multimedia resources. So this is a tool that I like and I recently discovered. It's very similar to the spelling of crayon. It's called Crayon AI. So Crayon AI is a tool that you can generate images for free. And on the left-hand side, there is a scene from one of my favorite movies from Disney, Zootopia. So there are 2 elephants sharing an ice cream. But for me, for my digital book, it's about nature, about forest. So what I would like to do is I would like to create an image with elephants eating ice cream in a forest. Next. And this is what I got with the website. As you can see, it's accurate, it's in high resolution, and it's cute. So it's what I was looking for. So let's try another one. Next. So this time it's about another scene from Zootopia. It's Nick Forks handing out popsicles for the little hamsters who are bankers. But this time I would like to have something more cozy. So my prompt is cute mouse eating a popsicle on a sofa. And let's see if it can create it. Next. Yeah, so I got two versions of images with the mouse having popsicle on a sofa. And as you can see, we have high resolution and high accuracy to the prompts too. Next. So if you're interested, feel free to scan the QR code or go to the website to use for your English teaching in the future. Next. So time flies. Now we're on to our last goal of today. That is to generate songs. Next. So I have a question for all of you. Have you ever dreamed of becoming a composer? Yeah, we always have that dream, especially we have a lot of role models like Olivia Rodrigo, Taylor Swift, like Sabrina, Karina. So there are a lot of like singers that are really good in producing and creating music. And sometimes we want to do the same, but we're too busy maybe with other like teaching duties that forbidden us to like pursue new interests. But with AI, we can do it. Next. So this is a song that I create. Would you mind clicking the idioms to play the video, to play the song? The idioms, the brown image, the image in brown. Yes, maybe we can tune up the volume too. See if we can do it. It's okay, I can do it here.
A little bird told me, said when revealing information without naming the source, crocodile tears, fake or insincere, crying. The lion's share, the largest portion. Busy as a bee, very busy and productive, like a fish out of water. Feeling uncomfortable or out of place. Monkey business, silly or dishonest behavior. Chicken out, back out due to fear.
Okay, I think it's okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your help. So if you pay closer attention to the lyrics, you will find that the lyrics were customized by me, by the teaching content based on the sample earlier about teaching English idioms to the students. And this way, I would say that students, maybe before the test, they can listen to the song while they're on the way to school, or maybe they can listen to the song you created before your lesson, or maybe after the lesson as a post-class activity, or like on the way back home too. So there are a lot of ways for students to learn English, and us teachers, we're constantly exploring new ways. So this is one of the ways that we can create. And I'm going to walk through all the steps with you for this app. So again, please take out your mobile phone and scan the QR code here. Thank you. So it will bring you to the website suno.com. So we're going to do it together. We're going to sign up for an account and make a sample song together. Okay. And let's move on to the first step. So once you're in the website, click sign up. That is the white button on the top right hand corner. And if you click sign up, I would suggest that you use your Gmail account to create your account because I find it like smoother experience. So once you click sign up, the white button on the top right hand corner, click the colorful G sign. So here you can log into your Gmail account. Maybe we will have 10 seconds for everyone to sign into their Gmail accounts. Okay, and after signing in your Gmail account, and after all the verification, you will be brought back to your home page here. So this is your workspace. And once you are here, once you see the screen, you have succeeded 50% of the song. So I would like you to click the orange or the pink sign with the music, the notes, the music notes. And once you click it, you will be brought to this page on the left-hand side. So click the music note sign. Okay. Yes, Juno, perfect. Click. Yes, you're in the right. Yes, perfect. So, oops, sorry, last slide, please. Yes, so once you click the pink and orange sign, click the white button to select custom, because this is the only way that you can customize your lyrics. So click custom and you will see that the button turns white color. Next. And here you can start to write your own lyrics, or you can copy and paste from any AI chatbots or teaching materials that you use. So once you finish the lyrics part, we can move to step 6, that is selecting your style of music. So for the song that we heard earlier, I used lo-fi house. So it's kind of like cozy, like a cafe, something that students, they will find relaxing if they keep repeating the song. So if you want, you can select, you can type lo-fi house as well. Or if not, if you like jazz or pop or K-pop, you can put in and type all the styles of music you want. And lastly, name your song. So your hit song needs a name, so you can type the title that will help you identify your songs in your workplace. So once everything is completed, click create, and then you will have the song. So there are 3 credits for everyday uses, and I would suggest once you use it up, don't worry, you can just restart the credits tomorrow. So you can always like prepare maybe earlier and like find a song, create a song that you like, and then you have like a song for yourself and also your students. Next. Yeah, so your first song will be ready. Next. So this brought us back to our survey. And earlier we invited all of you to complete a survey. We would like to invite all of you to take out your phone and post and complete the survey again. And the reason we're doing this is because we're constantly improving our content for all the knowledge transfers that we prepare for Indonesia. And we would like to hear from you, and also observe if there are any changes before and after. So I would like to invite all of you on site and all of you online to take out your phone and scan the QR code to complete the survey again. And this time maybe we will have 3 minutes. 3 minutes for everyone to complete the survey. And you will notice that the options are updated. So there will be elementary school options and also other grades as well. Yes, post-survey. So all teachers will be are invited to complete the survey twice today. And for teachers who complete it twice, you will receive an e-certificate. So the certificates will be prepared based on the full name that you put in your survey. So make sure that you put in your full name and also your school name as well. And please put your full name for your schools too, because it will be easier for us to identify you. And do not worry, the Padlet and also the survey will be open. So we will keep publishing it so you can always put in your responses anytime today. Next, please. So this concludes the end of our workshop. Terima kasih. Thank you very much for your input and your attention and your time. And I enjoy a lot like working with you, and I hope you like these tunes as much as I do. Next. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, dear audience, it was Miss Wincy. She was guiding us how to create text, images, and audios in order to make the use of AI more effective in our classrooms. Special thanks to both the presenters for this second session. And now I would just invite all of you to just don't hesitate to challenge the ideas that you just heard today. And because progress is not polite always, progress is about like when you are proactive. So I will take one question from the offline audience and one from the online. So please comment down your questions, the online participants, so I can read it later. So the floor is yours, audience.
Hi, my name is Kiki. I'm from SMA Negeri 1 Surakarta, and I would like to ask Miss Wincy. So I have been using Perplexity for a while. So I usually use a lot of platforms at the same time just to fact check. So usually I don't take only one answer. I will go and search around to find out for the real one, like where does this come from, where the sources are. Now the problem is that for using the Perplexity, can you give me a tip on how to maximize the prompt? Because I usually use layered prompts. For example, I need an article for, let's say, environmental heroes, for example. So I'll write an article, find me articles about environmental heroes. And then they come up with names, and then give me explanation on, okay, add me more information on this person, for example. And then they will come up with answers. But sometimes maybe there's a glitch. They give me weird answer. And then I usually will copy and paste it to different platforms. Like, is there any way to make it faster? To make it more optimum in, because the students these days, they will just copy and just write prompts and dump the question from the teacher and then give the answer and then copy paste the answer. But for us, the generations before the internet, we know how to find answers, right? We know like what kind of articles or what kind of answer we expect them to give. So could you give me the tips on maximizing the prompt using? Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question, Miss Kiki. Yeah, so I would say that unfortunately, there's no shortcut for now with AI chatbots. But what I personally do is that my first prompt is always very short. It's like what I did earlier. So I keep it very, very short, and I explore the responses they gave me. And then I keep refining it, because the reason is that they remember what we're asking for. So usually after maybe 3 or 4 attempts of like refining it, adding more information, I will get the responses that I like. But the thing is, another point is, most of the chatbots were created in the United States. So English is their first language. And whenever I look for teaching materials, I find that the teaching materials they suggested were too complicated, too difficult for EFL or ESL students. So sometimes whenever maybe I put in like 15 to 16 years old and then I'll change with 11 to 12 years old and maybe focus on like these vocabularies only. So it's by refining. So I would say that there is no shortcut for it now, but hopefully they will remember you and your account and your input. And eventually they will shorten your time. Because I do believe that even though I need to refine my prompts like 3 or 4 or even like 5 or 6 times, it's still faster than me Googling all the things that I need. Like, so still I would prefer AI, but there is no like perfect way for that, I would say.
Yeah, thank you, Kiki. As you know from my sharing, I'm very interested in hearing teachers' experience of actual use. And this is a good forum for getting insights from each other. I just wanted to add a little bit to what Wenzi said, which is very practical, which is that from our point of view at the university, one of the things we're teaching or training students and teachers is prompt literacy. So I think what Wenzi is describing is her process to get what she's looking for is kind of prompt literacy. And so often the interfaces that we find using AI are actually using LLMs at the back end. So like for teacher materials, something like DIFIT, do you know DIFIT, D-I-F-F-I-T? That's actually just an interface that's using an LLM at the back end. If you know how to ask the right questions, you can forget DIFIT and go directly to any of the LLM. That's right. So I would suggest not only relying on your library, like Wenzi suggested, some of the LLMs will recall other searches from your library. Some don't do that. Some just recall earlier searches. But I've had long chats where they forget what I said. They'll say, your chat is getting too long, start a new one, right? So this is encouraging us to develop our prompting literacy. I think that's something all teachers can think about is what kind of questions give you the kind of answers you're looking for, and then save those, because you might just want to change. Like the age, you know, Wenzi said for the language level, maybe she'll say 15 in one context, 12 in another. So save your own record. And concise is good, but I would say concise is sometimes long. You know, concise doesn't always mean short. It's just the essential information that you need, but that takes time. So you're going through the process.
So thank you, Dr. Tim. So there is a question from the online participants for Dr. Tim. And the question is, what do you think students need to learn in order to use AI safely, ethically, and responsibly? And what does it look like for teachers to model these practices? Yeah, please. If you would like to. Yeah.
Well, that's a very comprehensive question, and I think that's the million-dollar question. I should say $1 trillion, because $1 million is not so much money in Indonesia. But in American dollars, it's a lot of money. So that's a very important question, and I think the answer, I will always say, depends on the context. So are we talking about 9-year-old, 10-year-old students, or 12, 13-year-old, or 17, 18? So the common ingredient is moderation and supervision. That's what we can provide. Even when we're teaching something very dangerous, for example, swimming. Swimming can be dangerous. You can die from drowning. Riding your bicycle can be dangerous, but we let our children learn to ride a bicycle. We let our children learn to swim because there's benefits. So I do not deny that there are risks in teaching AI on getting children online. But there are contexts in which we can provide supervision and moderation and training in the use of it, but also the values. This is so important that we teach the values to our students, to our children, so that they understand themselves how to engage in ethical conduct online. But of course, at the younger years, this requires more close, strict, careful moderation. I think that the final answer is when some of the AI services or apps provide safety nets for us that are built in. So we can confidently direct our students to certain apps designed for education. There's not enough of these now. Most of the tools we show you now are for commercial, for public, but keep your eyes open for AI apps that are built for teachers and educators, because they will build in some of the safety net for us.
Thank you, Dr. Tim. And dear audience, as we are moving towards the end of this session, this seminar today, so let's recall what we learned so far from this discussion, and that is we, like the teachers, when we collaborate, the students not just learn, but they rather flourish and grow with their personalities and the use of tech in education. And also, it is obvious from Dr. Lee's presentation that innovation must be grounded in humanity. If we want it more beneficial, it could be, and it must be grounded in humanity. And the last is collaboration is the greatest and strongest pedagogy, because when we collaborate, we are not just transmitters of the knowledge, but we are transformers of the knowledge. So thank you for your insights, your presence, and your enthusiasm in today's seminar. Until the next Knowledge Transfer Forum, keep questioning, keep growing, and keep the human spirit alive in you and as the center of classroom. Thank you, and stay blessed.
Thank you, Mr. Wakas, for serving as the moderator of this session. Finally, we have come to the end of our event. On behalf of the committee, we would like to thank all speakers, guests, and participants for making today's forum insightful and inspiring.
We are honored by your presence, whether in person or virtually, and we sincerely appreciate the time and effort you've taken to be with us today.
We hope today's sessions empowers you to further innovate in your classroom through collaboration and deep learning. I'm Muhammad Yusuf Ramdhani.
I'm Indah.
And I, Rinda Sadono.
As your master of ceremony, now take your leave, and thank you, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.